And I just took a vape. Hello,
Great.
everyone, and welcome to NASA Bunker 33, where we're having the wettest show around tonight.
Oh God. Why did I come up with this idea? Why did I even think of this? I don't know why I thought of it. I'm like, God, it disgusts me
well,
just
I,
thinking
I
about
was
it.
thinking about the Simpsons episode, The Wettest Stories Ever Told. So I guess that's tonight. Tonight is the wettest stories ever told. Yes, that's right. We're talking about the piss drinkers. And not not the silly, taking the piss kind of people. We're talking about people who drink their own piss
And nebulize
because
it.
that's the thing.
And,
Yeah, and do a lot of other things as I've discovered, and it's really fucking gross. Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
so I'm your host, Quitty's the Sprinkler, and with me is our amazing producer that never fucks anything up ever, Zoomy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, I think. Except for the piss. This is really gonna take the piss out of me.
Yeah, we're gonna take the piss out of the piss drinkers tonight. Uh, and we also have a Booma with us. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I don't know. Am I working? I just DM'd Arduin and he turned up, but that's cool. Nice to see. A
Ardwin!
fucking sleepy Dutchman. I've gone really well this week, guys. I've been noticing there are these $100 electric bikes on Facebook, and a helmet costs $90 and bike costs 100, and I just don't know whether to buy one because I'm thinking if you can't look back at the times when you're an idiot and see them, you're probably still an idiot, which applies to me. But I'm having fun. I'm thinking about getting one of these. They do 75 kilometers an hour. They're an electric bike with a changeover battery, and I'm thinking it's nice and lazy. And I'm still at war with my possum. He jumps on the roof late at night, and I go out and hit the tree with the star pickets. So that battle's kind of a stalemate. We both hate each other, and we're kind of about level. And apart from that, I'm high. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some fun. I have been really fruitful this week. So if I disappear and you see smoke wafting about, it's not me. It's Arduin. How about we try
Oh yeah,
Oh, well,
Arduin
absolutely,
then from
absolutely. Because I'm also very high. So
a high flying
well,
Dutchman?
hi,
Yay!
hi.
How
It's
are you,
nice
brother?
to meet you. I'm high.
Hi, hi, nice to meet you. I'm low. What?
Aw, aw.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Fuck, it's going to be a good one, guys. I'm looking forward to this. Let's
So,
all
how are
piss
you
drink.
doing
Now, we're
tonight,
not getting
Ardawan?
oh, I'm doing pretty good actually. Can't complain. Uh, or my cat will kill me. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely good. Yes,
Yes, our
I
cat
swear.
overlords don't allow us to complain.
No.
They actually run the bunker, uh, which kind of sucks because cats are huge dickheads and they're like slave drivers around here. But we cope. That's actually why I was off for a few
We need.
weeks. The cats got mad at me and scratched the shit out of me, and so I had to take a couple of weeks to let the wounds heal. But I'm back now. So,
Well, well, the problem is, too, they've got lots of extra substances on their claws which are infused into your bloodstream and you're off your face. Just admit it. I've got to point something out
yeah.
before you do escape, though. Ardoin has just put something up in his Facebook that says, I'm just an asshole with a lot of self control. Yeah, I know. I always knew that. Thanks for admitting it.
Uh,
We have it in writing. Beautiful
yes,
work, mate. I
yes.
like your style. That was so well done.
I'm not a friendly, timid guy. I'm just an asshole with a lot of self control.
Yeah.
I love
well, I
that.
love the South Park. Are you just an asshole? No, I've got arms and legs.
Well, notice they stuffed us in the pantry now, so that's. Uh...
Good, because it sounds like some people are going to have the munchies. And Booma's got a lot of cucumbers that I don't know where he's going to stick them, but he seems to
Yeah.
be happy with it.
I've got a lot of imagination too, so I won't elaborate. Hey, Global Mom, Jen, PJC. We've got some. The audience is big tonight, isn't it? We have more than one.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
I need to
Yeah.
fix the
Well,
tab.
everyone came to see me since I'm back, so that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, if you're comfortable with that, we'll humour you. Okay.
Let me fix the chat real quick.
All right, so
Ah.
let's get into this. I know everyone here knows about the most famous of all the piss drinkers, at least in our little community here, Pissy Dave, the flat earther. So of course we're going to have to cover him, and we'll just go ahead and do that first and get that out of the way, and then we'll talk about the even crazier piss drinkers than Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sorry guys. General public service announcement. I'm placing you all under citizen's arrest until the end of the stream. However, I'm not unreasonable. I may relieve the arrest, but you're all placed under arrest. Please do not leave the scene of the crime. Today is now a crime scene under my citizen's arrest criteria. Thank you. That's all.
And if you were Pissy Dave, you would actually be serious right now. Because that's his new thing. What does he call it? It's like peacekeepers or something like that. It's like this little club of people that wear shirts and go around citizens arresting police.
Oh
Oh,
god.
Yeah.
do you want to get
I
the
tell you what,
taser?
dude, what gets me.
Do you want to get a taser in your balls? This is how you get a taser in your balls.
Yeah.
I
Well,
want to
that's the
see. I want to
objective.
see Pissy Dave get tasered so hard he pisses blood for a week, and then I want to see if he drinks that.
He probably would. He'd probably say it's full of extra vitamins.
Ooh, it's cherry flavored.
Well,
I'm just going
anyway,
to say for those in the hang on, quick one for those in the chat. In tasering, do not Google electropebble. All right, do not Google electropebble unless you kind of got an idea what it might be. But it's it's a very interesting page. So don't Google it, anyone. All right, electropebble. Do not Google.
Electropebble kind of sounds like something that Gwyneth Paltrow would use.
hey Garrus, let's just ignore the
No.
electropebble thing for a minute because
Because Gwyneth Paltrow shoves stones up her vagina.
yeah, she does.
No, this is not for vaginas. This is for the opposite. This is for the the male member.
Ah. So it's like a reverse Gwyneth Paltrow then.
I could be using one right now, but I won't say. Anyway, yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Hi, late. I'm
I may be
Quiddy.
sometime.
Hey, late. God damn it, Quiddies.
Okay.
The urethra, yes, thank you, Garrus. The urethra. It is for the urethra. You put stones in the urethra.
Franklin.
Anyway, let's go ahead and let's just play this video here because
That's the exact
you're
noise
in
I was hoping
trouble.
for with that joke, by the way. The sound that Ardoin just made, the
That wasn't from the judge. That was from the electropebble. Anyway.
the E-Jack you later from Dirty Jobs. No, Jim, no. Anyway, let's go into this video here because we need to, you know.
yeah, let's do the damn thing.
Hello, this is Dave. So I'm going to do a little bit of a testimony and maybe an appeal as well. So what's actually happened is that over the last couple of months, I've found myself getting kind of sicker and sicker. Not, you know.
Well, you do drink your own piss, so I think there is, you know, something there that you should probably think about.
George, get your ass in here. I sent you the link already.
Anyway, keep going.
Very obvious. I was waking up feeling quite breathless. But, you know, because I use the amber nectar, I would, you know, take it and, you know, I'd recover very quickly. So it wasn't noticeable at first, but I was literally more often than not now waking up breathless, and it was getting sort of worse. I couldn't figure it out until one night it was getting a bit cold, so I grabbed a second duvet out of the bottom of my wardrobe, and then realised it was covered in black mould. You know, I woke up in the middle of the night, totally unable to breathe, and that's when I discovered that this duvet had black mould on it. So I actually put a post out on Facebook to for anybody who knew how to get rid of black mould. So I tried all these things.
And again, pause.
I threw away that.
You don't think this has anything to do with you drinking and pouring your own piss all over yourself?
For anyone out there, a spray bottle with vinegar and water. 1 part vinegar, 5 parts water. Spray bottle, squirt it around your vents and whatever, because I have dealt with black mold in some of the houses we worked on. There you go.
Yeah, black mold is no joke, by the way. Like, you can get extremely sick. It can actually cause brain damage if you breathe a lot of the spores in. So if you have black mold, the best thing to do is call a company that deals with it to come in and sterilize your house.
Yeah,
because
otherwise
if you get it in the walls, they're going to have to rip your drywall out and clean everything.
Yeah, because otherwise you might turn into a piss drinking flat earther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this guy.
Good God. Nice.
All right, keep going.
Want me to speed him up because he speaks rather slowly.
Yeah, let's do
good idea.
1.5.
Yeah, I like it.
Duvet, I threw away anything else that seemed to be affected, and I ended up cleaning my place up totally with tried different methods, but I kept getting sick. And then one night it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and my body suddenly went into panic mode. That is, I literally couldn't breathe. I was breathing really quickly and taking really shallow breaths, but I wasn't getting enough air into my lungs. And I tried various things. I tried breathing into a paper bag, but that seemed to
piss drinkers called that pee withdrawal.
My heart started racing, my breath started increasing in speed, and I lost all energy, and I thought I was going to die. It brought it home that my best friend for 40 years died in February, probably of the vax, but he died suddenly of a heart attack, and it brought it home to me that
Thanks,
if my mate could just suddenly disappear like that, then why not me? So I literally thought that was the end.
Y'all pay attention to actually what I'm broadcasting, because
the only thing I could do, I
love it.
But I ended up praying. So I went to Most High and said, if it's my time, then fair enough. But if it's not my time, I need a little bit of help here. And absolutely immediately, it's incredible. Immediately, I had the overwhelming urge to go to wee. But I had no energy. I couldn't make it to the toilet. And it's one thing dying, but to die and be discovered with wee stains around you.
Wait, pause.
Pause. So
all I can imagine is Dave sitting in bed, holding his little wiener, trying to piss straight into his mouth so that he doesn't get it everywhere.
look what I did.
Because you wouldn't want to make a mess, would you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, no.
like I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but Ron Jeremy, the famous porn star that looks like Mario,
He played Mario.
he could actually suck his own dick.
Yeah.
I've seen it, unfortunately. And that I can just imagine Dave like sitting there in bed trying to get his mouth down far enough to put his wiener in his mouth so that he could drink straight from the tap.
Now, there's an interesting dilemma. If I could suck my own dick, I'm thinking, well, I probably wouldn't be on this stream right now. But as much as the fact of having your dick in someone else's mouth actually is an appealing thing, the fact of someone else's dick in my mouth, even my own, isn't quite. It's all swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it? Snakes and ladders. Oh, I don't know.
I love
It's a dilemma.
other people's
This
dicks in my
question
mouth.
will never be answered.
Listen. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you fucking want. But let's all admit, we all been curious and like, oh, if I wish I could suck my own dick. Oh shit, we can't. When we were like 15 or 16 or whatever, right?
We all tried.
I think
Everyone
has
put it
tried.
this way,
here
guys,
tried.
and
I can
orgasm.
guarantee you that,
Hey,
whether
guys.
we admit it or not.
Okay, guys, an orgasm is like cooking. I can do it myself, but I do prefer it when someone else gets it happening.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
speak for yourself, Booma.
Unless they're a really bad cook.
And speak for yourself, Booma. I love it when other people's guts from my mouth. No,
I did.
Never mind.
I did speak for myself, yes. But for me, it was swings and roundabouts. Okay.
I am
Yeah,
glad we're
whatever
not
floats your
monetized
boat.
because right now we would not be monetized.
Yeah. Well, funny story.
Uh,
A boss of mine back years and years ago could suck his own dick. I never witnessed it, thank God, or Satan, or who the fuck ever saved me from this. But some people that I work with saw him do it.
I can imagine that even Satan is like, I got you, buddy.
Yeah.
No charge.
I got your back, bro. This one's on me.
it's gonna certainly put a whole new take on going and asking for a raise, isn't it?
So this was a summer theater that I worked at, and they put us all in this shitty apartment complex. So like everyone that worked at this theater lived in this one little apartment complex, and we would have parties every night at my boss's apartment. And around midnight every night he would disappear. And about 12:15, 12:20, something like that, he would just walk out butt naked into the party and give this grandiose speech naked and then go to bed. That was every night this entire summer. But luckily I wasn't around when he demonstrated
I never understood artists.
Yeah. It's a whole new take on freedom of speech, isn't it? What's this speech about? Okay, you got your first fucking amendments. I don't know.
Yep, that's summer theater for you guys.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's continue with pissing on Dave's face. I love this, dude. That's so
grabbed
good.
a glass and weed in the glass, and without thinking about it, I drank it, and immediately my body started to calm down. This amazing calm settled over me. And my breathing sort of slowed down, my heart slowed down, and my lungs started to clear up. So I can continue drinking virtually all night. I couldn't go to bed. I continued drinking all night until the morning, and then I went to A&E. I didn't go to A&E for any treatment as such. Well, I did get them to give me a nebulizer, but I went for the nebulizer mask, and I'll show you why in a little while. But when I got to the hospital, the doctor basically said, first thing he said was, "Have you had your COVID vaccine?" I said, "No." He said, "You've probably got COVID." I said, "No, I haven't. It's black mold. I know it's black mold. I wasn't feeling like this before, the duvet incident and over the last few months and that. I know it's not COVID. It's just black mold." He said, "Well, breathlessness is one of the symptoms of COVID." I said, "I know that, but it's not COVID. It's black mold. Right now, I'm feeling better because I'm not in that environment. Does that happen with COVID? No, it doesn't." He said, "Well, you could be asymptomatic." I said, "Really? I mean, is that? How do you know that I'm not asymptomatic cancer then, or asymptomatic diabetes? Why am I specifically asymptomatic COVID?" He said, and then I followed on with, you did know about the study in Wuhan where 10 million people.
That's not how cancer or diabetes works.
And he said, "Well,
no, not really. No,
No, not really.
You can't be asymptomatic cancer or diabetes."
He's definitely not asymptomatic to fuck-wittedness. That's one thing. He's got clear symptoms of that.
Yeah, I think that might be terminal, actually.
I think it is.
But yeah, that.
Well, so is breathing. So.
And drinking water.
Yeah.
And breathing
of all the people
oxygen.
who
Yeah.
100% of all people who drank water and breathed oxygen have or will die. There you go, guys. The stats are out there. We have total proof of that.
PJC net.
Sorry, you're all gonna die.
No PJC. Bad PJC. Bad. No. Just, no. God, no.
All right. I give people permission to time PJC net out. Just this one time.
No, we like our.
No.
Come on, dude.
No.
I like the heckle. I listen to the heckle.
Okay, I've got to do this.
Okay. But anyway.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I had to.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
we're it's okay, PJ. We won't time you out, mate. We like your fucking
Yeah, we
input.
won't
It
time
is
you out,
truly
PJ.
valued.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
literally never time anyone out ever.
Yeah, the only time we've ever timed anyone out is whenever they're either a bot or they say something truly horrendous in the chat, which has happened like once.
I mean, that was truly horrendous, but
No, I mean to the point where it's borderline transphobic,
yeah,
homophobic,
yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. If
put
they're
it this
being
way, dude.
abusive,
abusive. That's the
Yeah.
term, abusive. Yeah.
yeah.
We don't need to
But-
tell you they're doing it in order to get timed out, and you will get timed out if you go along that path. But always, let's keep it clean and fun and good fun and not
Yeah.
clean. Okay.
No,
Let's
PJ,
rock on.
because
that.
we're
Oh.
literally here to take the piss out of people, kind of like Dave, except we do different things with the piss.
Yeah. We certainly don't toss it in salads like
Ah.
he does. Anyway.
Just
Actually,
don't be a
I'm not
Nazi.
here to argue with you, so go and sit in
Yeah.
the meeting room until we call you again. So, you know, they really are really pushing this COVID thing, you know, in every instance. And if you try and bring any information that you know doesn't go along with that idea, then
Oh yeah, also, let it be known, we do not agree with his take on COVID-19. It is a serious condition and follow the CDC guidelines as well as WHO and everything else. Do not follow his advice and drink your own goddamn piss.
Yeah, we'll see
Here's-
more
here's-
of that in a little while.
Any correlation between what we say and the truth is purely coincidental.
Yeah. And if you learn anything
Of
tonight,
course,
it
what
is
he-
purely coincidental.
And of course, he is mistaken to think we're not piss taken. I'm going to put a parody there. We got one coming, Dave. Dave has a parody coming. Anyway,
Dave is a piss taker. I'm just a piss giver.
Speaking of piss,
we don't need background music, don't we?
Anyway,
Yeah.
I could do that.
Okay, just that little slight 2% of piano jazz in the background. Just nice and soft. Yeah, it's beautiful. Nice work. That's very professional. Who are you and what have you done with Zoomy? Hey, come on. This is an imposter.
So let's get on with the video.
Okay. Ah,
We-
deflection. Yeah.
We
all
replaced
right.
her with an alien.
Yes, and a very good alien at that. A shapeshifter, what's more. And that, whoa, boy, are we having some fun tonight in the cocaine party.
So let's get on with it.
they don't want to know. So I was basically put on a nebulizer, which didn't help an awful, you know, as much as I thought it might do, because it wasn't actually asthma.
Okay, yeah, the background music's kind of
But what I did do,
Loud, yeah.
making this hard to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, we'd like some piano.
nebulizer
Yeah, it's a
mask
bit
is
like a video game.
It's a one-use thing. You know, everyone who uses it, they throw it away afterwards. I said, can I keep it? You know, and they said, oh yeah, no problem. So I walked away with our nebulizer mask. So what I've been doing ever since is, and you can see it in there, I've been putting urine in and nebulizing urine. Now, I've helped a couple of people with this technique actually. A friend of mine, he has COPD, and he asked me what he could do, and so I told him, because he uses a vape, so I told him just put some urine in that vape and vape urine. And you know, a couple of weeks later, I saw him, and apparently he's a
Pause.
gentleman. We were talking.
Let me just point this out. Do not fucking piss in your vape and vape it. Period. I don't care what he
You
just
say
said.
that.
Do not do
You
that.
say that now. You say that now. I could have used that advice 10 minutes ago, you bastard. Thank you.
Tonight I'm vaping strawberry shortcake vape. I'm not vaping Dave's special pea vape.
I'm vaping.
Thanks, Jen. Yes, he's saying it. nebulizing. He was actually his puffer thing. Yeah, wasn't it the little bottle for your asthma puffer sort of thing he used it in? Is that right?
Yeah, well, he used a nebulizer, like they have in hospitals to, they put water in it and it basically humidifies the air you breathe.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, I spent a few hours on Facebook the other day going through my old woo-fuckery groups and pulling out some screenshots of piss drinkers on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure I have at least one where people are talking about putting their urine in like humidifiers and running them in their house.
I actually do run eucalyptus oil in a vaporizer here because Victoria is a colder climate in winter and it's a black mold environment if you're in an old house. And I actually use eucalyptus oil in one of those. What are they? They're like an electric vaporizer. You tip them in, and it does lubricate your lungs. Because I have COPD as well. And what this prick is about to come out with is really fucking disingenuous, Dave, because you're not a fucking doctor, and I do talk to a doctor on a regular basis about COPD, and it's not fucking funny. So anyway, let's let this fuckwit keep going.
Yeah, no, COPD is pretty fucked up. But I do want to say real quick, I've always had trouble during the winter. My throat gets dry, and I'll wake up with a sore throat almost every morning. And since I've had my CPAP, because it's got a little water tank, and I'm actually breathing humidified air at night, I've had a sore throat exactly once this entire winter, and it was one night when I fell asleep without putting my mask on.
Yep.
So yeah,
on the COPD
breathing humid air in the winter helps a whole lot, but
and
just thinking about
the eucalyptus oil lubricates it as well.
Would smell.
Yeah. The eucalyptus oil also lubricates your lungs because what's happening, there's swelling down at that minor area, thus reducing your oxygenation. Now, what's a real problem with it is that anyone of my generation grew up. Now, I was in workshops where we were blowing out brake drums. That was like, we didn't know. And your tire machine, you drop it on and asbestos dust was everywhere. It was also in all the cars. So if you walked around the city of Melbourne, cars were dropping it on every intersection. And it was also in the trains. So pretty much anyone who's around about half a century old has probably got some form of COPD due to the fact that we were living in an industrial thing. And the lawyer that defended James Hardy for asbestos, defended them, actually died of asbestosis. So there you go for irony, isn't it? The lawyer who made the money out of that shit actually died from the same thing. So anyway, guys, let's not get too fucking downhearted and get back up into the spirit of things.
Yeah. Let's get back to Dave.
I'll try this real quick.
Walking, and he wanted to walk while we talked because he said he hasn't walked around for such a long time. He loves walking, so he wants to now walk. So he was his COPD had improved drastically, and I've helped a couple of people with asthma and other breathing problems simply with like this idea of vaporizing urine and breathing it in. Unlike vaporizing anything else, the body recognizes urine, so it absorbs.
Wait, pause it for a second.
Rather than become.
I do want to cover this real quick because urine is 95% water. So if you're vaporizing it, literally all you're doing is humidifying the air. However, the salts and minerals that are in your urine will stay behind, but the uric acid, that actually goes in the air too, as well as I forget what the other thing is called, creatinine or something.
Creatinine.
Those will actually go in the air too and make your entire house smell like piss. I don't know if you've ever been in one of those really grungy dive bars that doesn't clean their bathroom regularly. But as soon as you walk in the door, it smells like stale piss. And that's what your house would smell like.
There's also trace amounts of ammonia in it as well, which is why the Aztecs used to use it to clean fabrics. However, the Aztecs would actually filter out everything else and leave just the ammonia by boiling it. because whenever you boil
Yeah, the
it,
Romans did the same thing. They actually had laundromats that they had slaves that would piss in these huge tubs
Yep.
every day
Yep.
to clean their clothes in. That was how Roman laundromats worked. They uncovered one that was actually very well preserved in crap. What's the town that was destroyed by Vesuvius?
Herculaneum. It wasn't actually. It wasn't the first one. It was Herculaneum further up. That was more preserved. But you're talking of Pompeii. But no,
Yeah,
it's
Pompeii.
Herculaneum, which is
Yeah,
just
Pompeii.
north.
Pompeii
Is
and
also under the
Herculaneum.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, they uncovered one, and I don't know if it was in Herculaneum or Pompeii, but they uncovered one, and it was very well preserved, and they were able to say, you know, this is where the slaves actually pissed into this tub, and
Aztecs and
this
Mayans
is
did
where
it
they
too.
would wash the clothes, this is where they would wring them out, and blah blah blah.
The Aztecs and Mayans had very much a similar situation. Only they actually
Yeah.
bathed in it as well, which was apparently good for the skin. But
Yeah, there are, you know, some of the minerals and salts that are in urine can be good for the skin,
yeah,
but
not
then a
good
lot
for
of
the
things
interior. It's not good for the interior.
like ammonia is not good for your skin.
No, it's not. Not at all. Which is why they would separate the ammonia from everything else in it and
Yeah.
use the dried up remains to use in their cleaning supplies for,
Yeah. Yeah. And
their
now, you know, you
personal
can go
hygiene.
just buy a bottle of ammonia at the grocery store for a couple of bucks.
Because you can actually make lye with urine. Certain types of lye you can make with using uric acid. And it's
Yeah.
actually a good exfoliant. It's actually a good exfoliant, but I wouldn't recommend it because you can just buy that shit now. You don't have to piss to do it.
Right. There are a lot better exfoliants that you can buy for very cheap.
Yeah, that was back during like 400 AD.
Yeah. I do, while we're paused, while this is on my mind, I do want to dispel a myth about drinking pee. If you're in a survival situation where you have nothing to drink, do not drink your own pee.
Yeah, do not.
Because the salts in it will actually
Dry you
further dehydrate you.
Yeah.
However, you can use your urine for other things. You can build an evaporator to pee in, and you know, put a clear piece of plastic over it with a rock on it, and have it evaporate the water and drip down into a cup and drink that. But you can use it, you know, in a hot environment. You can take a piece of cloth and piss on it and wrap it around your head to keep cool. Because the pee will evaporate and cool your head. And no, do not use it as an antiseptic, because there are trace amounts of bacteria in your pee, and you can get a really fucking bad infection from it and die.
Yeah.
That's an old wives' tale. It came from a snake bite. They'd say piss on the snake bite. The other one that's a wives' tale as well is piss on new leather boots. Do not do either. That's just fucking gross. And
I could just, and also
some of these things get traction.
I can just imagine how Dave smells.
Well, I mean, you know, walk in the bathroom and take a piss, and that's how Dave smells.
I wonder.
You don't really have to imagine it.
I wonder if he drinks it after he eats asparagus.
Oh, I'm sure he does, and he does one of the big things with the piss drinkers is they love aged urine. They love to piss in a jar and then just leave it sitting there for a few days so it ferments.
Or like he had an entire year where it had turned black. He was like, "Oh yeah, this is the good stuff," and I'm like,
Okay. In the chats, guys, we've got a couple coming up. Hey, Facty, like, don't say you can drink it once, because I'm not even going to do that. So you can wear that one yourself. Peeing on leeches actually would make them reduce, as it would with ticks. But I wouldn't suggest pissing all over them. You can get a cotton bud and some methylated spirits or whatever you call it, even petrol or vodka, and dip it on a tick or on a leech. That will make them retract. You don't pull them off because that makes it an injury. They try to dig in. But,
I will
yeah.
say one thing that works. Pissing on a jellyfish sting does work. It hurts like hell.
The acid in your pee neutralizes the
Stinger, barbs.
No, not the barbs. The actual venom that's injected.
Yeah,
it
that's
neutralizes it. But the stingers will
Yes,
actually
we
stay in you.
actually,
You
our
have
box
to
jelly-
clean those out.
Yeah. Bear Grylls actually
You
did
do
that.
have to do that. We're box jelly, and we're in far north Queensland. Box jellies are a problem, and just about every house near a river has a 3 or 4 litre bottle of vinegar. They use white vinegar, and you rub it straight on. If you rub it, you're actually injecting it. They're like little venom sacs. Yeah.
Meat tenderizer as well.
I've never seen a box jelly.
Yeah. Meat tenderizer is also good for that, by the way.
Yeah, meat tenderizer is good for that. It's good for bee stings, wasp stings, everything like that. But yeah, just regular white distilled vinegar works a lot better than urine. But you know, if you're in a situation where you're in the water and get stung by a jellyfish and you don't have any of that, then yes, peeing on it will help.
Yeah. I will recommend doing that because it's a quick, easy way of fixing the problem. Just if you're home, vinegar would be better. If you're close to a place where you can get vinegar, get vinegar.
Yeah, we've got those Portuguese man of war here that
we have them too.
You know, their stings are really bad. I've never been stung by one. I've been stung by just a regular I guess box jelly. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Portuguese men of war, those things will mess you up.
Yeah, they will. Anyway, let's finish this video. It's only
wouldn't have been a box jelly. Would have been a blue bottle. They're way more common. Can I just add, hang on. I've got one to add. This is real good purpose. Whitetail spiders. Apparently, it's not the venom. It is actually the bacteria that lives in the venom. And if you ever get bitten by the whitetail spiders, vinegar is actually the thing to do on that. And that's that is proper poisons information. And we're more than likely going to encounter a whitetail spider bite, because you guys have them over there too, than you are a jellyfish. So vinegar works on that too. So do that if you ever get bitten by a suspect spider in your house. Thank you.
Vinegar is good for a lot of things. Vinegar is just great for a lot of things.
Yeah, and it's the acid content.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know, I'm sure you could get the same effect with like hydrochloric acid, but it would burn.
Yeah.
Or sulfuric acid, but it would dissolve your skin.
It would dissolve your skin, yes. Just pure straight sulfuric acid on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It might eat away your bones. You
won't even know you got bit by a spider in 20 minutes.
Yeah, because your fucking arm will be gone.
Yeah, all right.
All right, back to Dave.
A liquid that sits in the lungs. It will be absorbed, and because it's got stem cells, it will start to repair the lungs. So I've been using this, and it's literally cleared up my lungs.
Oh yeah, and I found a way to change the volume depending on the tab, so I can put the volume up really low, but you can still hear it. So tell me if I need to turn it up or down or anything. The music.
I would pick different music.
What?
Oh, great. It's cool.
Yeah, I
Celtic
would bump
pop
it down
music.
like
Okay.
I would bump it down like another 5%.
Okay.
Like,
Celtic
we
pop music.
seriously
That's
need to
what's
just
wrong with it.
barely hear it at all.
Yeah.
One of those things where you're kind of like, is there music or not?
Like you could barely detect it, but it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the object though.
Let's
We don't
get
really
to
want to
it.
hear it, except we don't want the mortuary
It was black
effect.
mold after all, so it was going to last a long time. But it took me about 3 or 4 days, maybe even a week, before I could say that my lungs were completely clear. And I know because, especially when I used to have asthma, there'd always be a kind of rattle and wheeze at the bottom of my lungs. And it took about a week before, and a week of nebulizing for half an hour, maybe once or twice a day. It took about a week before. That rattle complete, wheeze and rattle right at the bottom of my breath.
Every time he holds up his own piss, that's everyone's reaction. Just
Well, I don't even have him up on the screen. I'm just listening to it is enough. Let's just
Yeah.
say that.
Oh,
So now my van is completely uninhabitable. Every time I go back in there, right now I've tried to clean it all up as best I can, and I've got a what is it? It's an ozonator, an industrial ozonator in there, pumping out ozone, which apparently will get rid of it. I've got a dehumidifier in there to get rid of any moisture, but yet it still affects me when I go in there. So I can't go in there. I was hoping to be able to wait until spring and completely gut
And
it.
if you
and
actually
try and get rid of
fucking
that mold
cleaned
that
it
looks like
properly,
not even
you
sealing
wouldn't
and
have that
walls or something.
problem.
I just can't
Yeah.
get to it. So I'm
Instead of running a
going to YouTube,
bullshit consumer grade ozone machine that isn't going to do jack shit to it, and a dehumidifier that isn't going to do jack shit to it, get in there and fucking clean it.
I found a vibe called conspiracy theories, and that's what I'm playing right now.
Or you know,
The,
hire someone to do it if you're concerned about your health as soon as you get in there.
He's a flat earther. Do you think he has the money to hire someone to clean it?
No, he doesn't. No.
I doubt he even has the money to clean it himself, but that's a whole other
That's
thing.
why- That's why he drinks his piss. He can't afford soft drinks.
I was about to say that.
well, peacekeeping doesn't pay the bills, mate.
I
Yeah.
was about to suggest that at least he's saving a lot of money on water and no soft drinks because he's only drinking his own.
All right, let's finish this off. We got less than a minute and a half.
replacement
Hey!
van. Now I'm not just asking people for help with this, but I'm embarking on a truth tour. So you know, I'm going to be giving talks around the country, and you know, any donations from that will go towards the van. And I'm hoping to be able to by spring.
Yeah, he's just going to talk about his fundraiser, so let's fuck that. Next video.
Yeah, let's not give him.
Well, you know, I'm sure
Yeah,
he's a
just-
chemophobe as well. So he's scared to actually use any sort of cleaners in his van because they're made of chemicals.
Yeah, just a quickie on their diagnosis and their whole procedure of cure and whatever, symptoms and cure. Anything in the medical profession that's done by proper doctors, they need a placebo group and they need a huge group, and they've got to have at least, for therapeutic goods approval to get a drug up, you need at least 1,000 people, of which nearly half of them are taking sugar tablets. And it's an involved process. For one person to say, I drank my piss and I suddenly felt better, yeah, good on you, buddy. Have we got another 1,000 people saying the same thing? And the answer is no. And that's the problem with these dudes. They have one angle, it fits their bill, and they just, beautiful, confirmation bias. Thank you, point proven. And they just don't go any further to disprove it, unlike us.
Well, instead of a
Do we
video,
want to do this article?
yeah, instead of video, let's go ahead and do an article, and then we'll split it up that
All
way.
right. You want me to read it or someone else wants to read it?
Whoever wants to read it can read it.
I don't hear anyone jumping. So
Well,
I'll
that
read
sounds
it.
like that sounds
All right,
like quitting.
this
Yeah,
was
do it quick.
this was one of the articles that I found in. So before I got into this community, I used to do the anti-woo fuckery stuff on Facebook, and I was in a lot of those groups, the anti-vax, anti, you know, anything conventional. I was against all of that, and I'm still in those groups. I just don't really do that anymore. So when I was looking up stuff for this show, I went to them, and this was one of the things that I found, and I thought it was a very fitting story for tonight. So this happened in Vancouver. A mother from Maple Ridge, British Columbia, has temporarily lost her right to unsupervised parenting time over allegations she made her young son drink his own pee as part of a controversial practice called urine therapy. Those concerns came to light during a custody case decided this week in BC Supreme Court, which heard the mom fed the 8-year-old boy smoothies that she had mixed with his urine. The child's mother and father, who can't be named to protect their boy's privacy, separated last year but remain living on different floors of the same house. What?
It's not loading. Hold on a second. Let me fix that. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
There
well.
we go.
It doesn't matter. The golden tones and sprinkles are more than getting us across the board with this one. We love it. Keep
There
going,
we go.
Uncle
I
Pete.
fixed it.
all right. They have been increasingly at odds since she began pursuing a fringe, quote, natural and holistic lifestyle about 3 years ago, according to Master Kimberly Robertson's August 30th decision. Quote, it has created significant distrust by the father as to the respondent's judgment in ensuring that the child is safe in her care, which came to a head when the allegation that she was imposing urine therapy on the child arose, the judge wrote. The mom's interest in alternative medicine previously resulted in her seeking unsupported remedies, such as homeopathy, to treat her breast cancer, all of which failed, unsurprisingly, ultimately leaving her with no choice but to undergo surgery. And that's actually we're going to talk about that in a little bit too, using really shitty treatments for breast cancer. Eventually, that inclination also brought her to urine therapy, described in the decision as, quote, a centuries-old practice of drinking one's own urine and massaging it into one's skin. The mom admitted in court that she started drinking her own pee last January, and even that she appeared on an obscure podcast called Healing Powers of Urine Therapy. But she denied forcing her son to take part in the practice. The father told a different story. Can you turn that down a little bit?
Yeah.
Like it's drowning my
I'm
own
sorry.
voice out
I'm sorry.
from me.
There we go.
The father told a different story. He recounted an after-school incident on April 14th in which the child approached him looking confused and guilty and said, I have a secret. You have to, but he didn't want to do it, told his mom that he didn't want to, but she encouraged him to, according to the physician's notes, which were presented in court. The mother was adamant that wasn't the case, arguing instead that the father had suggested the idea of urine being in the boy's smoothies, and saying the child was prone to believe it because he was aware of her interest in the practice. Robertson noted that even if that were the case, it would still raise red flags on its own. Even if the child was not being fed his own urine, the fact that he easily believed he could be is harmful in its own right, and ought to have been concerning to the respondent, the judge wrote. The court heard the father had found jars of urine in the mother's bathroom, some of which were either left uncovered or covered with a paper towel, and that they left a foul odor. The dad said he worried their son would be bullied if his friends learned about the situation at home. There were also concerns raised about the mother's fasting, which the father said went on for days on end and left her physically incapable of caring for their son. The judge wasn't convinced that foregoing food left the mom unable to parent, but ultimately said she agreed with the father's assessment that while his former partner loves their son, her judgment and health are questionable at this time. She ruled that the mother can have parenting time from Sunday mornings to Wednesday evenings, but only with supervision from a professional or a third party agreed upon by both parents.
I'm sorry about that. But the stream went down for just a minute. But they caught most of it. They caught
Yeah,
most of
we
it.
had some buffering.
They caught
We've had
most
some
of it.
buffering, but we are back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep.
So, you know, this brings up several things that I've seen, but I couldn't find them the other day when I was looking for stuff about people who would ask one of these P groups on Facebook ways to sneak their pee into their children's or their children's friends' food.
Yeah.
Like they would have, you know, another parent would or another parent's kid would come over to spend the night and they would put their pee in this kid's food and then be like, whenever their parents find out, they'll thank me so much for it. Like, these people are fucking mental.
Yes, they are.
Well, uneducated would probably be the best thing. The fact that they're going to go and listen to mum's Facebook group and then not follow it up with any, Hey, doctor, is it safe to put pee in shit? What is the doctor going to say? No, you don't do it. I don't know. This is a fucking there's a couple of roos loose in the top panic. I might point out in Australia, we call drinking piss actually drinking beer. Like beer is piss. We went and hit the piss the other night. So for any of those who hear us say that in Australian, we're talking about drinking cans of beer, not drinking cans of Dave. I
Yeah.
might add.
Well, next up on the docket, we're instead of going, the debunker route, we're going the bunker route. Basically, we might have to cut this video short because it is SciShow, but I've heard from people that they said they allow, snippets of their stuff to be used, as long as it's, provided commentary on top of it, fair use.
Yeah.
So SciShow was really good about the fair use stuff, so I'm hoping we don't get a copyright claim, but if we do, it's just a copyright claim. They really don't do copyright strikes. So,
And it's not like we're monetized anyway. We won't be losing any revenue from it.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Just something else I'd like to say is what applies to this is also what Craig Fight the Flat Earth said yesterday about flat earthers. Are we going to run that little 2.5 minute thing later, Charisma? Oh, sorry, Asumi, or not?
Yeah, we can do that.
Craig, we can run with that too because that applies. That covers all of that. That's a blanket sort of statement. Although we pointed out flat earthers, that's anyone is covered by that. They are fucking dangerous. And they actually do end up killing people. So anyway,
let me find it real quick. I've got it saved here still.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Be looking for it. We'll play it at the end because it'll be really good. The last thing that I want to do in this show is talk about the screenshots. What are they called? In that folder, the screenshots labeled Cancer 1 through Cancer 6. Okay. We'll go through those, and then we'll play FTFE's statement.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
Let's go ahead and play this SciShow.
Planning. Well done.
SciShow video.
Right. Do it.
Maybe you don't think much about the 1 to 2.
Like I said, if it turns yellow, I'll just stop the video right there and we'll say, fuck it, go to the next video.
Liters of urine you flush down the toilet every day. But when you send it swirling down the drain, you could be getting rid of liquid gold. Because there's molecular goodness hidden in that pale yellow puddle, which has been used to treat everything from basic infections to menopause. That's right, there are medicines in your pee. When it makes its way out of you, about 95% of the volume of your urine is water. Of the remaining 5%, about half is urea, a molecule your body uses to get rid of nitrogen. There are also some extra ions like chloride and sodium that you don't need, but the remaining 1 or 2% is where things get really interesting. That's where scientists have found trace amounts of useful stuff ready for the taking. For example...
Yeah, but they're not saying to drink it, by the way.
Right, and that's what a lot of these piss drinkers use as justification is there are things in my pee that can be useful. But here's the thing. If they were actually useful, your body wouldn't be getting rid of them.
Exactly. Your body, it's whatever your body
puts out. This is literally waste that your body needs to get rid of.
I was about
You're
to say
not
that.
supposed to put it right back into your body.
Whatever your body's getting rid of.
I think Frank Zappa best summed it up in the words of one of his songs. Hey ho, please don't eat that yellow snow where the huskies go. And I would put that. I think that's some advice.
Man, I need to listen to some Frank Zappa
You're a
now.
fucking legend. Oh, wouldn't you? He was a legend.
Yeah.
And I love his shirt, 406.
All right.
Yeah. There was a time when doctors saved their patients' urine so they could extract penicillin from it. During World War II, the newly discovered drug was in short supply. By June of 1942, the amount of penicillin in the United States was only enough to treat 10 patients. But doctors realized early on that when someone took penicillin, anywhere from 40 to 99% of it was excreted into their urine unchanged.
Yeah, that actually was a thing on MASH. They had the doctors, the female doctors pissing into a bucket, basically, because they were out of penicillin.
Hot Lips.
Yeah, Hot Lips was one of them that came up with the idea. Because they were out of penicillin, they were like, well, human female urethra. urine has loads of unchanged penicillin, so we can use that temporarily until we get our new shipment. And
yeah, but the thing is, they have to actually take the penicillin for it to be in their urine.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're basically giving someone penicillin and then taking it back from them to use on someone else.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Believe it or not, the guys who I think it was an indigenous tribe in, I think, South America or wherever psilocybin is used, the tripping effect where you go out and hit the desert and trip up, they used to re-drink it back to get the LSD drug effect going. But it doesn't work for alcohol or dope or any of those other substances. But they actually did drink it to re-trip again, I guess. Well,
and Mark Pizer has a point. Keyword there is extract, i.e., they separate it out and then culture more penicillin from it. They don't just feed the patient their piss. They extract it out. They use a what you call it, that little thing that turns it, the
centrifuge.
Centrifuge, yes. They use a centrifuge to separate it out.
Yeah.
As well as other methods they use.
Because there are other things in your urine that are pretty harmful, and if you're going to give someone penicillin, also giving them bacteria and urea and all the other harmful shit that's in pee kind of defeats the purpose. But if you can extract the penicillin back out from it, then hey, you have more penicillin.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
That and the severe shortage of penicillin led doctors to collect and crystallize their patients' urine to extract the drug. And a lot of other medications pass through the body the same way, because it's part of your kidney's job to flush out foreign substances. So doctors could do this for lots of things in theory. They don't, though, because manufacturing them is generally cheaper and a little bit less gross.
And
even
easier.
Penicillin recycling was short-lived. By the end of the war, production of the drug had ramped up, and doctors stopped hoarding their patients' pee. But pretty soon, they started extracting something else from it. Hormones. In the late 1940s, an Italian scientist successfully extracted two hormones called FSH and LH that work together to induce ovulation, where an ovary releases an egg. A decade later, a medical student named Bruno Lunenfeld wanted to turn these hormones into a treatment for infertility.
I'll say another thing. Urine is actually great for growing hair, but I wouldn't recommend it rubbing into your scalp.
No, that's wrong. I've been pissing on Quiddies for a good year now, and he hasn't grown the hair back.
Yeah,
so
I'm still bald as fuck.
No, I mean, they use animal urine in some supplies, like Rogaine, I believe, uses certain types of animal urine, the urea specifically in it, because it contains a follicle, some type of follicle hormone. He just listed it on the screen, so yeah. But it's actually pretty good for growing hair, so I mean... But they synthesize it. They don't make you drink it.
If I can bring up one, hello, Glover Mum, we love your work, whatever you do. She used to take medications that turn your pee orange. Now, we have a product here called Barocca, which is a vitamin B supplement, and you take it after a night on the piss, so to speak. I'm glad I got that in before. The Barocca, when you get up next morning and go for a piss halfway through the day, it pisses out red. I actually thought I had a fucking ruptured bladder or something and then it went away, and people told me this Barocca, it's an orange tablet, and it does make you feel better because it puts in the B group, but you piss it out big time, and you shit yourself. Well, not literally, but you get scared. Fucking, you think you're pissing blood.
There's also
it's not a good thing in any book.
There's also a funny chemical. I don't remember the name of it right now, but the only effect it has on you is it turns your urine blue. Like a dark blue.
Probably some sort of silver.
But it goes
something with silver, because silver turns things blue.
Yeah.
Colloidal silver, if you take a lot of colloidal silver, it will actually turn your skin blue. So I'm sure colloidal silver or something like that. Yeah. Copper. I thought copper would turn green, but
it'll turn green. Yeah.
Maybe blue.
No,
hey, from Sleet. from Sleet, it comes in 3 different flavors of Barocca. You can select your urine color. Thanks for that fucking pro tip, mate. I love your work.
Anyway.
Oh,
It
it's
had a
getting
problem.
better.
It was going to take
Gin, are you
thousands
peeing
of
in
liters
Rainbow?
of pee to isolate enough of the hormones for trials. Where do you even get that much pee? Well, after a few false starts, Lunenfeld was put in touch with the Catholic Church, which offered up the services of their nuns. Soon, the pharmaceutical factory had a steady supply of fresh urine. Each treatment required about 10 days worth of urine from 10 nuns, but it worked. In 1962, the first baby conceived with the help of Lunenfeld's drug was born.
I do have to say, this reminds me of something that happened like 15 or so years ago. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Oh God, you're not going to go into this, are you?
They tried to get Ben and Jerry's ice cream to stop using cow milk to make ice cream.
Yeah,
They said, human breast milk would make better ice cream. So they sent this letter to Ben and Jerry's. They were like, you're a very progressive, forward-thinking company, so why don't you start using breast milk? And Ben and Jerry's sent them a letter back and said, no thanks.
Yeah, exactly. No thanks. No thanks.
But could you imagine, like, just having a bunch of wet nurses hooked up like a dairy to make ice cream for Ben and Jerry's? And that's what I thought about when it said that they hired these nuns to pee for them.
Kind of takes me back to those Romans where they had the slaves pee. Well, my mic was muted back then, but when they had the slaves pee to for the washing, that is a whole other definition of piss slave.
Quitties, there's actually a fetish called human cattle that delves into that, and I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. That is an actual fetish.
Well, I know what my Pornhub search is for tonight.
It's an actual thing. It's called human cattle. And they have women hooked up to breast pumps, and they wait until they're pregnant, because that's whenever you start producing milk, is if you're pregnant. And
guys,
you can force lactation as well.
Well, yeah,
guys, I am so sorry for this, but I am in the mood for the rest of the video.
Yeah, let's continue. Yeah.
Put that joke of the night. Yes, well done.
There once was a bloke called McPhee who coughed a whole quart full of pee. Someone finish this. Please. Anyway. Sorry.
About 24 followed over the next 2 years, and demand for the drug skyrocketed. And the treatment continued to come from pee for decades, until chemists figured out how to make the hormone synthetically in the mid-1990s. But you can still be prescribed other pee-derived hormones today. Estrogen, which is used to treat the symptoms of menopause, was also originally isolated from urine.
Some HRT formulas were formulated from urine, with female urine, actually.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Stuff that your body doesn't need, like if it makes too much of a hormone, like estrogen or, whatever, it's just going to filter it out and you're going to pee it out. Yeah. So there can be a lot of stuff that your body produces in your pee. It still doesn't make it fucking medicine on its own.
No. So, if you want to get a lot of estrogen
correct,
at once,
and in fact, when you take a vitamin supplement, when you take a vitamin supplement, what actually happens is, if it's a fast release into your body, your kidneys turn up, as does your liver, and they filter it out quickly. That's why it's better to have a full meal to get your vitamins than to actually eat not much and take vitamin supplements, because you process it out quicker, so therefore you lose the effect. So anyway, again, we're not really doctors, but we do have a fair idea on how to stay alive, because we've been around for more than 10 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, Boomer's been around for like 170 years at this point.
Yeah.
And he's still kicking and screaming. He's still full of piss and vinegar.
I was about to say that. God damn it, Quiddy.
I used to play...
Killing my folk. Killing my joke.
Piss and wind. Some people call it piss and wind. It's the same thing, mate. At my age, you don't know what's fucking coming, going, burping, pooing, or farting. Yes, I used to play lead lute in a band of minstrels back in the 1860s. That's correct. I was
No,
there
no,
for
no,
the
no,
Battle
no.
of Gettysburg. In fact, I started the Battle of Gettysburg, so up yours, Yags.
Yeah, well, I finished the Battle of Gettysburg.
You were the.
Jizzy, you want to come in, mate? Can we send you a link?
Oh, Jenny.
Yeah, come on in, Cheesy.
Listen,
He was.
Boomer. It's even worse. You were the blacksmith that made the nails for the for the cross that nailed Jesus.
So Boomer nailed Jesus?
Correct. That is correct.
Yes.
I do have some at home. I've got Jesus nails. Yep. Yes.
That is.
Oh, come on, we're not getting into the Jesus jokes. It's Sunday, dude. Come on, we have to give God a break.
I'm just saying that's how old Boomer is.
Yeah, we still have Jesus nails in storage. We're selling them for 50 cents a piece.
Yeah. So I have been thinking about this several times during the stream, and I figure I'll bring it up. There is a product called, funny enough, Pisky. And what it is, it's fermented and aged diabetic urine. They actually make whiskey with diabetic urine because there's such a high sugar content in it.
Oh, God.
Can we just play the rest of the video, please?
Yeah.
The urine of people who were pregnant. But it was difficult and expensive to get it that way. So pharmacologists turned to pregnant horses instead, which pee out way more urine each day. The drug called Premarin is still widely used, and yes, it's still made from pregnant horse pee. There's also another medically useful thing you can find in pee. Stem cells. Stem cells are special because they can become many different types of cells, which makes them incredibly useful for medical research. And in 2014, scientists managed to extract them from pee. Only 0.2% of the cells in urine are stem cells, so researchers can only pull 5 to 10 unique stem cells from every 100 milliliters of pee. But they are there. Unlike the other cells in urine, they probably slough off from the tubing in your kidneys while your urine makes its way to your bladder. But we don't know for sure. And while that might seem like very few cells, once they're isolated, they divide quickly, making billions of cells in a couple weeks. Urine-derived stem cells are great because they're easy to get without doing anything invasive at all, as opposed to other types of stem cells which are usually extracted from things like bone marrow or blood. Doctors are hoping to use the stem cells from urine to rebuild damaged portions of the urinary tract, since that's where they're from. And by making changes to their genetic code, researchers can also reprogram these stem cells to act like other types of cells, which they can use to study things like neurological and cardiac diseases, which is not bad for cells that you normally just flush away. But just because there can be lots of useful stuff in pee doesn't mean you should start collecting and drinking your own urine. Urinotherapy is not actual medicine. Though its proponents suggest drinking urine can cure cancer or smearing it on your skin can cure acne, let's be clear, none of that is backed by science. Your pee does contain compounds, hormones, and cells that can be used medically, but that doesn't mean drinking it will cure you. Plus, it also contains a lot of other stuff that you don't need to be drinking. So it's probably best if you don't try to mine your liquid gold at home. Leave it to the experts. Thanks for watching this episode.
Yeah, exactly. Let me go ahead and drop a like on that video.
Well, there's 12 months of fucking effort and storage going down the bin. What am I going to do with all these bottles of piss? I was going to clean up and put them on the stock market. Fuck! Not good news. Oh dear.
Well, let's go on to the next article then, Quitties.
Sorry, I was reading an article about Pisky.
Anyway.
On Wired. Okay, so the next article is... get rid of that. The next article is the anti-vaxxers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anti-vaxxers are touting another new COVID cure, drinking piss. But they are not the only obstacles to ending the pandemic. I'm starting to think that common sense really is not that common after all. We live in exceedingly stupid times.
Yes, we do.
Exhibit number 874. U.S. anti-vaxxers are now urging people to drink their own piss to fight coronavirus. Over the weekend, Christopher Key, the leader of an anti-COVID-19 vaccine group called the Vaccine Police, posted videos online extolling the health benefits of what he described as urine therapy. according to the Wizard of Wee, there is, quote, tons and tons of research and peer-reviewed published papers on urine.
More like P-reviewed, but anyway.
Yes, peer-reviewed.
I like it, yeah. I was going to do that, you bastard.
But wait, there's another pun coming up here. So if you do your own pee search, you will discover it is God's own antidote to COVID-19. Quote, the vaccine is the worst bioweapon I have ever seen, Key said. I drink my own urine.
Sounds like recipe to me.
Nice.
God damn it.
That is not the only questionable thing he does. Key was recently arrested for refusing to wear a mask and filming proceedings during a court hearing. I think I've heard of that before, Sav says. First Amendment auditors.
Yeah, auditors.
The reason he was in court. The reason he was in court.
A catastrophe.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
It's going to be a catastrophe.
A catastrophe.
Yeah, vaccine police sounds totally legit to me. Like, completely.
Yeah,
you,
it's a pretty
Amy.
stupid group. The reason he was in court, he was arrested in April for refusing to wear a mask at a Whole Foods store, Karen. In August, he made headlines for suggesting that pharmacists should be executed for administering coronavirus vaccines. In December, he also set off on a road trip across the U.S. with a fake badge and firearms in a mission to arrest a Democratic governor over vaccine mandates. Very busy man, our Mr. Key. I cannot help thinking that if his name was Muhammad, his shenanigans would have had him locked up in Guantanamo Bay by now.
I think I actually heard of that guy trying to arrest the governor.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of it.
I think I've heard that name. Wasn't it David? Can't think of
No, it's Christopher Key. Oh, you mean the governor?
Yeah, no, well, the cops, but still.
Yeah.
Allegedly, they tried to arrest cops. Did a quote-unquote
maybe he's one of allegedly Dave's peacekeepers or peacekeepers or whatever the fuck they are.
I'm wondering, hey, so there'll be a time where you go into Dave's bathroom if you were to be unfortunate enough to visit him, and above the shower it will have H, C, and G. Or U. I'm not quite sure. Probably G for golden shower. But anyway, do not turn on the G switch if you ever have a shower at Dave's.
I would imagine allegedly Dave's bathroom goes relatively unused. So it's probably immaculate.
Well, he definitely does not have a urinal in his bathroom.
Well, definitely not. His urinal? No. His urinal is just a stool.
His urinal is just a Nalgene bottle.
No. It's a stool where he sits and waits.
Yeah. With his mouth open.
With his mouth open, exactly.
All right. Key's urine therapy is far.
You do know there's another meaning for stool, don't you?
Yes, I do.
That was a little late.
It was a double entendre. Okay. It was a double entendre.
Sorry, I'm delayed. Yeah. I'll drop it.
I don't know if Booma's delayed or his brain's delayed.
A little bit of both.
High, so
a little bit of both.
A bit of both.
Yeah. All right. Key's urine therapy is far from the only experimental and highly dubious COVID cure to be promoted during the pandemic. We all remember the former U.S. president's comments on the benefit of injecting bleach. Last year saw a prolonged bout of ivermectin mania. Now, along with urine, the right seems to be fixated on Viagra and colloidal silver.
Oh, God.
I say what I would do is I would mix it all together. A little bit of urine, a little bit of Viagra grounded, a little bit of bleach, etc., etc. You mix it together and you inject that into your eyeball.
Yes.
Yes.
And don't forget the what was the arthritis medicine?
Oh,
that was before ivermectin.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Trump promoted.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, hydroxychloroquine. Yeah.
All of that. You mix it all together and you
then,
inject it into your eyeball.
And then
I
you
think
put
that will definitely cure COVID.
You mix it all together, you put it in the sun for the UV rays. You get to soak up all the UV rays, and then you
What you
inject
have
it.
to do is you have to shove a telescope up your ass and then lay on the ground with your ass up in the air so that the sun will shine into the telescope and
then you
shine
have
a
it, then you have
direct
it also
beam
set
straight into you.
And then you also have it in the light of the full moon for a night.
Yeah. That way the cooling
light
of the
you don't
moon.
want to freeze to death. You don't want that cold moonlight freezing you from the inside.
Yeah, you want the sunlight, not the moonlight. The moonlight would freeze you. The sunlight warms you up.
The mother of the moon will bless this cure.
Oh, Luna. We love you. Anyway, back to the article.
Let's see. Fox News' Tucker Carlson, who has repeatedly questioned the efficacy and safety of COVID vaccines, recently dedicated a portion of his show to hyping the potential of Viagra as a potential cure.
Okay, I've got to say something. How dare Fox allow people like that to say what they say, anything concerning the vaccine? Just
because they make money.
Seriously. No, I'm saying how dare they? I'm literally saying fuck Fox News because just fuck Fox News. Period.
They're actually vaccinated. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
They're actually vaccinated and they preach anti-vax. They've got to be vaccinated to be at work and doing a Fox News presentation. We've got the same scumbags here doing the same bullshit.
And
we got
and it's also very funny that I don't know if you ever saw that. They're spouting about all the stuff about the regulations and everything. All the restrictions are bad, but they're not sitting in the same studio. They're all sitting in separate studios, so that they're not in the same location and breathing each other's air. And they say, "Oh, people should go back to work and breathe each other's air." Meanwhile, we're not doing it ourselves to show the example.
And also, Tucker Carlson is vaccinated. Because he had to be because to work at Fox News, you have to be vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, we can get on that another time. Tonight's not about Fox News.
Yeah, it's about piss.
Good call.
Carlson seized on the story of a British nurse reportedly recovering from a COVID-19 coma after being given a dose of Viagra to sing the Little Blue Pill's praises. Quote, "Is there anything Viagra doesn't cure?" He joked. "Yes, I'm afraid it does not appear to cure stupidity." Speaking of which, the conservative media personality Candace Owens recently told her social media followers that she takes a teaspoon a day of colloidal silver, a product that has also been touted as a COVID cure by the likes of InfoWars founder Alex Jones. I am sure I do not need to tell you this, but there is zero evidence that colloidal silver can help with COVID. On the contrary, taking too much can turn your skin blue permanently, and in rare cases, can even kill you.
Yeah.
I can never resist an opportunity to big up my hero, Wilkie Collins, so I urge you to read his underrated novel, Poor Miss Finch, about a blind woman who falls in love with identical twins, one of whom turns blue after trying to cure his epilepsy with silver. The novel won't cure COVID, but it may provide temporary reprieve from existential ennui.
What happens if you're a Smurf though? It's cool. You can be a Smurf and be blue. I love it.
Well, there was that one guy that tried to sell colloidal silver supplements, and
I also love.
So he took a bunch of them himself and turned permanently Smurf.
Yeah,
I absolutely love the idea that those people are turned permanently blue. So you can pick them out of the crowd, right? You know exactly who the dumb fuck is.
Yeah.
It's sort of like I was an idiot, and I was some time ago, and I probably still am. I like it. It's an early warning system, isn't it?
I got to look up a picture of this guy so we can put it on screen.
Oh, okay. Well, while you're there,
All
hey,
right.
Cheesy can't come in. I sent him a DM to actually invite him in. He can't come in. So we can rag the shit out of him now without a right of reply.
Good.
Cheesy.
Good.
Yeah.
Chrismer, go to
Zoomy.
the green room. Yeah, sorry, Zoomy. And my internet's slow, so it's taking forever.
No,
to
sorry,
upload,
I'm
but it'll be in
trying,
the green room
Boomer.
momentarily.
I'm trying, Boomer. I'm trying to. I was thinking like I want to say something mean about cheese, but I just can't. I'm
What
sorry.
did you say? Where's it at, Quitties?
It'll be in the green room, but for some reason it's taking forever to upload. I don't know why. This image is 8 megabytes, and my internet is being really stupid right now.
It's not even showing you
Hang
a
on,
typing.
Yeah, it's only like a third. So let me just try a different picture.
Well,
Let's see if
okay,
this
now
one
we've got
gets better.
Arnold doing background music, so you want to hurry up, man, because you're going to get fucking. Oh, no.
Okay, here we go. This one will go a little bit faster.
All right. All right. Let's not over-egg the pudding.
Almost. Why is
hey guys, we've
so
got
slow?
just while we're trying to work it out, we've got an election coming up, and our PM, despite falling numbers, has pulled out the politician's ultimate trick,
There it is.
playing ukulele on morning TV.
There it is. You can put it up on stream now.
Oh, and that made him look like such a normal guy.
Yeah.
It did. Yep, it's going to get him back in for sure.
That's
playing
what
a ukulele,
happens when
just
you
can't
use
knock that
colloidal silver every fucking day.
Yeah. Let me resize this. There we go.
I'm not entirely convinced. I think you're being trolled. What, the receding hairline? Is that also part of it?
Damn. Like he literally looks like Papa Smurf now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Where were we? Okay. The amount of misinformation about COVID cures is highly depressing, and it is important that we hold to account the people spreading dangerous falsehoods and undermining trust in the vaccine. Still, let us be clear. The biggest obstacle towards ending this pandemic is not kooks such as Key and Owens. The obstacle is the rich countries that have been hoarding vaccines, and the likes of Pfizer and Moderna who have been slow to license their vaccine technology developed with taxpayer money to poor countries. The fact that Big Pharma is making billions from a public health crisis is unconscionable. I'm very pro-vaccine, but I am running out of enthusiasm for boosters. The idea of potentially having to get a fourth shot soon, while so much of the world still cannot access a first dose, makes me sick. If only we had a vaccine for greed.
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right.
That's just a small. That's asking for money.
But
Yeah.
They also kind of enforced it because if it hadn't gotten my third shot, then my vaccine passport would expire.
Yeah.
And that would mean that I wouldn't be allowed to go to movie theaters and stuff like that. So, like, it's a choice that I sort of can understand. Being like with the fourth shot, like, do I really want a fourth vaccine shot for, I can understand, but it's also like, it's you almost have no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also. Might be the smartest decision to make that, given the situation, because because of the rest of the world, even because the rest of the world is not vaccinated yet because of corporate greed. It's also that is why we get one of the reasons why we get all those mutations.
Yeah, that, and of course, all the stupid people that refuse to wear masks and refuse to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
You would think in a country where we have access to, a vaccine that is free for us. Yeah, we paid taxes to develop it, and our taxes pay the company to provide it, but it's free as far as you just go to a clinic and get a needle stuck in your arm. and you don't pay. You would think that people would go and get it, but people are fucking stupid.
People are stupid enough to think that drinking your own piss is better than getting a vaccine.
Yeah. And there's
here's the
actually
other-
a vaccine that was developed at Research Triangle Park here in North Carolina by the University of North Carolina that not only vaccinates against COVID and its variants and mutations, it also vaccinates against other coronaviruses as well. So it could potentially be a one shot or two shot, like, you know, the original vaccine we got. That's all you ever need. You don't need these boosters every year or whatever.
And what really grinds my gears is these people who are like, well, yeah, I got the vaccine for the flu, so I don't need the vaccine for COVID. I'm like, those are two entirely different things.
The flu's not a coronavirus.
Exactly. They're like, oh, it's just the flu. It's just the flu.
Well,
no,
another
it's
thing-
not. It's not the flu. It's a different thing than the flu.
Yeah.
But anyway,
The other
we're
thing too,
kind of
though,
off
like,
topic.
hey
with
guys,
this.
just hold on, just onto it. With the interstate, what do you call them, the Freedom Convoy? They're blocking the interstate, not the internet. Says a lot about how they're not thinking the effectiveness through. If you want to fuck people up, blow the internet up. But they're on trucks out there spreading COVID. Go for it, guys. It's kind of thinning off the gene pool in a good direction when you do think about it.
And I had to say, the
Burn them,
Canadian
motherfuckers.
convoy,
Yeah.
it is a terrorist organization. They are terrorizing small towns. Therefore, they are fucking terrorists. Period.
Yeah.
They tried it here too in our at our government building, our main government building, our House of Congress basically, and there was just a couple of them showed up and they were like, "Bring your tents, we're staying until they cave," and then. At like 4 p.m. or something, the police said, "All right, guys, time to go home," and they're all like, "Okay," and they went home.
I mean, what else would you call?
I think I've got to add though, guys. What they're doing is extreming what is an old effective tactic, of which I'm an advocate, because the picket line is a union thing, and I've been part of those back in the 80s and 90s, and also I believe the Federate Interstate Truckers Union started the union movement back in the 30s. So
there's a
what
difference.
The tactics are they're doing now is it's their motivation is incorrect. What they're trying to do is just be fucker arounders. They're not doing it for the good of wages or making working conditions better. They're doing it because they're selfish pricks who just can't get off their fucking ass and do something.
Tell me, Puma.
I must point out, though, the picket line or the union movement does use these tactics, but of course, if they're too extreme, you go backwards. But
Puma,
their message is wrong. Yep.
Tell me, did the picket lines block hospitals?
No, that's it. We only block the industry. Correct. Yeah.
Did they terrorize small towns? Did they terrorize small towns?
No, correct.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing. What we're mainly talking about is the means of the protest, and the means of the protest is like I said, like Boomer said, but I agree with. I mean, absolutely a great way to protest, in my opinion. However, what you already see with the crowd that you pull, with the means where you're protesting for, says a lot about how about usually says a lot about what happens in these protests. Sure, even with leftist protests like this, things like some terrorization for people is probably bound to happen, but the union protests, for example, will probably try to police their people a bit more too, and kick the bad apples out. And
I agree with protesters.
Usually with the directives of what this freedom convoy is protesting for. It's usually there are organizations that don't police each other.
Hang on. We're way off topic.
Well,
so let's pull it back and get back to the pissers instead of talking about union protests.
Yeah.
Hello.
George.
What's up, George?
how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing well. How are
We're not
you?
as late as you are. That's one thing.
For sure.
You turned up 5 minutes before closing. You are so American. How do you get Americans to join a war? Tell them it's nearly over. How do you get join on a stream? Tell them it's nearly over.
Yes, that is exactly right.
All right.
There we go.
All right. So what do we have next? A urine therapy group in Colorado touts the benefits of drinking your own pee.
Let me get Jordan here real quick first.
He is, isn't he? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. We'll do this, and then we'll do the JP video, and then we'll get to the Facebook stuff.
Yeah.
For some ancient cultures, it's a healing technique.
Modern advocates claim it can do everything.
Beyond ear rape.
Sorry.
Oh.
Let's turn it down about 95% there.
There we go.
I'd say RIP
Oh,
headphone users, but
Denver
they
7's
couldn't
Ivan
hear me
Rodriguez spoke with a
anyway.
group in Boulder who
What
says their
did you
lives were
say?
changed after
What did you
starting
say?
this
What?
therapy.
You're staying present in your body.
Inside the quiet of his home, Brother Sage finds peace.
Take a deep breath in
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
and release on the exhale.
He says his life improved 25 years ago after changing the emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical.
Breathing in the new creation from the Creator itself.
He's since written books on his findings and helps others lead a healthy lifestyle.
As you can see, this is my diet. I eat a lot of fruit. Papayas and mangoes and oranges and pears.
With one
Yeah, it's good to eat a lot of fruit, but don't drink your own piss.
Actually, doctors recommend also caution people for eating too much fruit because there is also a lot of sugary fruits.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, diabetics is a thing.
It can also mess up your gut if you eat too much fruit and not enough like other stuff.
Like meat.
Yeah, definitely.
Protein.
Yeah, and fresh fruit is a lot better. You can eat a lot more fresh fruit than canned fruit, because canned fruit is not only the sugar in the fruit, but it's also packed in heavy syrup.
Yeah, and heavy
absolutely,
syrup. Yeah. Anyway.
crucial drink.
Yeah, Mike 71's getting a balanced diet, guys. That's it. And beer, of course, from John Eagle and Mike 71. There you go, balanced diet. Beer and a balanced diet.
Beer and a balanced diet. Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that beer is not a balanced diet?
Beer is part of a balanced diet, isn't it? At least, that's what, I mean.
Well, we used to call Guinness a meal in a can in college.
It's funny, I used to say the same thing about 5-hour energies. They were a meal in a bottle.
Chismondo. Chismondo. It's a combination of urine drinking and Tai Chi. Peachy.
I've
You
always
could have said
wondered-
Tai Chi.
Yeah,
Tai
Tai
Chi.
Chi is a whole lot better. I've always wondered what happens if you drink 5-hour energies in a 24-hour period.
Oh God, we're reaching the limits of what humans can imagine. I think we should get back to the
You can actually have a conversation with electricity. That's what happens if you drink 5 in 5.
Oh, so you're Jamie Foxx in that Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I guess so.
No. You're like Quicksilver in that in that X-Men movie.
In every movie that Quicksilver's been in.
Yeah.
Or you're like Fry in that episode of Futurama where he drinks 100 cups of coffee.
No.
Or you're like Fry and Leela at the end of Futurama where everything's frozen.
You're just very
around
really
him.
fast.
Yeah. I love that though. He goes to leap off the vampire state building to his death and then realizes halfway down that Leela's walking up and his watch was fast. So he hits the button and goes back 10 seconds, but it was like 1 second after he jumped off. So it just keeps falling over and over and over.
For what this really is ultra filtered.
Futurama. I can't say I'm familiar with it.
No.
Or urine.
2 hours ago. Good year. So when we take in this water, we honor it. We some people say a little prayer or something. just to acknowledge that something's about to shift in their body and in their mind.
Through urine therapy, Brother Sage will cleanse his eyes.
Open your eye, blink a couple times.
And rinse out his nose.
Not really rocket science.
Oh, God.
Dr. James Wilk at UC Health says drinking pee could make you sick.
All right, pause it.
Especially
Did he just neti pot piss?
Yes.
These are some of the things that these stupid fucking people do.
Yeah.
They will put piss in their eyes. They will neti pot it. They will give themselves piss enemas. They bathe in it. Like everything you can imagine doing. Any hole in your body that you can put stuff in, they will put urine in it. Even places that you shouldn't put anything in, like your eyes or your ears, they will put urine in it.
Oh, God.
And I read one, I think I actually have the screenshot to show, but this person was like, I've been putting urine in my eye for 2 weeks now, and I noticed that it burns really bad and there's a lot of pus coming out of my eyes.
Oh my God.
And then the people reply to them, they're like, that's just the toxins coming out of your eyes. Keep doing it every day.
What? No.
Like, that's the way these people think. If they have a reaction like that, where your eyes are filled with pus from putting piss in your eyes, that's toxins, and you need to keep doing it.
PJCnet, I have to remind you, PJCnet, these are your people that are doing this, by the way. These are your people. These are the people that you follow.
I mean,
they're doing this.
In all fairness, we cannot lump PJCnet in with them because, like, those are, I mean, PJCnet has shown at least an ability to know that drinking urine is bad for you. So, I mean,
I'll give it to him for that he at least acknowledges that drinking urine is bad for you. So,
I do need to reply to something that PJCnet did say, though, when he said they'll be injecting it next. No, because they already do. And I'm pretty sure one of the screenshots that I have to show is someone complaining about injecting urine with a insulin needle, and it turned into this really hard welt that hurts really bad. And people are like, oh, well, you used the wrong needle. You need a longer needle so it'll go into the muscle instead of just the skin, and blah, blah, blah.
There was a guy in Texas that injected his own semen into himself because he thought it was curing his back pain. So instead of going to the doctor and having the doctor prescribe him, actual pain medicine, because he said he was suffering really bad from back pain, as in it was excruciating, he couldn't do anything, he couldn't even get out of bed, it was so bad. Instead of going to a doctor, a hospital, emergency room, something, he started jerking off and put his own semen into himself using a needle.
That's just...
It puts the pee on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
I just need to know. I need to know what went wrong in their lives to where they thought this was a good idea.
They joined a Facebook group.
Yep.
That can't be it, because I joined the same Facebook group and I laughed at those people.
Same indeed. But I really think these are the people that they didn't get a proper education. Like they don't understand how to think critically. And so they see something like that, and they have,
especially
this
at its critical
in
moments,
any sort of authority. So they think, oh, well, all these people must be telling the truth, and so I should drink my piss.
2 people on Facebook can't be wrong, right?
Yeah. Those people.
No
on Facebook,
information on Facebook can be untrue. I'm pretty sure that's a law.
No. This comes from personal experience. The other day I was having a discussion with someone on the Flat Earth group. And
sorry.
Mute your mic,
Sorry
mate.
about that.
Mute your
Yep.
mic, please.
Woof.
And I brought up, actual scientific documents. And the person replies with, "Oh, I don't trust those scientists. I'd much rather trust everyone on Facebook." I'm like,
I've actually heard somebody say that they will not trust an epidemiologist that they don't know. They'll trust the nurse friend that they do know who
On
just
Facebook.
happens to be anti-vax.
Yeah.
Because you don't need any type of scientific training to be a nurse. And it's just
Well, it
kind
depends
of,
on the type of nurse. But
well, yeah, to be like I think
wait.
the one that we were talking about was like nurses, like old folks home attendant. So like, not to degrade anybody who does do stuff like that, like, but you don't have the scientific acumen to be discarding how many years of scientific discovery, like, just because you take care of old people. Like, thank you for doing that,
Right.
but stop trying to assert that you're smarter than the smartest people.
I remember what it was now. I came up with the scientific, peer-reviewed journals and everything. And they said, I asked them, what type of research have you done, to debunk, what I'm saying. It's like, oh, I get it from Facebook groups, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm like, TikTok is not a good
That's where
place.
flat earthers get their quote unquote scientific information.
Yeah.
I think Booma wants to say something. Or
no,
he
said BRB.
Yeah. He raised his hand and then said, "Be right back."
No. I said I would have put up "Be right back," but I raised my hand by accident. It went yellow. I didn't know that. Sorry. It was.
They just changed that.
I
was like, "Hey, Boomer's gonna." I was like, "Hey, Boomer's trying to say something," and I was trying.
And also, most of those quote-unquote nurses on Facebook, the nurse friend I have on Facebook, aren't actually registered nurses and are just like wet nurses instead, or stay-at-home quote-unquote nurses that,
They're wet nurses?
Wet
like they breastfeed children that aren't theirs?
Yeah. Like literally, yeah. I've met someone who actually literally said, "Oh, I trust my wet nurse's opinion over a scientist."
Because her titties make milk.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore she knows.
Therefore she's a nurse.
That's like saying I let my drill drive my car because it acts like a screwdriver, and screwdrivers drive, right?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
A nurse is a nurse is a nurse is a nurse. There's no synonyms for that word.
If it has the name nurse in it, they're automatically.
That's why I only let nurse sharks take care of me when I'm sick.
Yes.
I only let nurse sharks feed my babies, so
yeah. Wet nurse sharks.
Well, they're sharks, so they're already wet.
They're wet nurse sharks.
And
you don't
most
want to
nurses
dry
are
nurse
wet
shark.
around me. But
what? I mean, shark
It would
milk
die.
is great. Shark milk is great. What are you talking about?
Yeah. All right, let's finish this video.
Did nobody
This
hear my
gross
wet nurse
video.
joke?
Oh, we didn't. Sorry.
No, I don't
Go
think
ahead.
so.
Well, then you guys can go back and listen to it later.
Oh, say it. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
Well, I said any nurse around me is gonna get wet.
But
anyway, let's finish this video.
Play me off, Johnny.
Someone else's.
It's entirely possible to get chlamydia or gonorrhea of your mouth from drinking somebody's urine if they have those particular diseases. You don't know what kind of drugs are in their urine. That can pose some risks. And you don't know what kind of infections they have in there.
Like, say, you could be allergic to penicillin, and the person could have taken penicillin, and then now you're drinking pure penicillin.
Well, not pure penicillin, but
no, pure penicillin. No, whenever you extract it, whenever you piss out after taking penicillin, it's 45 to 95% pure.
Well, but like
no,
to say
that's
to
not
say
what
that
meant at all.
To say that
it's
pure.
40 to 90% of the penicillin that the person took goes into their urine.
Oh,
but
okay, yeah.
it's still just, 0.5% of the urine would
Yeah.
be penicillin
Well,
at the
yeah.
most.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
We
yeah,
covered
you're
that
right.
before, guys. We remember they said it was actually extracted from the whatever
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
the women's piss
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
We covered that before, so yeah, let's not haggle back to it. For those of us who are always here.
Anyway.
Brother Sage isn't alone. About once a week at the Boulder Public Library,
I misunderstood.
the Urine Therapy Group of Colorado will meet so members can talk about their experiences.
If you have stomach ache, you drink that, it goes away.
We'd like to challenge, actually, the scientific community. Those people who recognize.
It's called the placebo effect.
Well, to be honest, I've read some things that say that the placebo effect is like a little. I mean, I don't know if like. From what I've heard, the placebo effect isn't actually any positive side effects. Any positive side effects that they're attributing isn't due to the placebo effect. It's probably just coincidental, like.
Well,
That's
yeah,
coincidental.
that's all the placebo effect is coincidence. It's like,
Yeah.
I bang my head into the wall and my ingrown toenail stopped hurting. Therefore, banging your head into the wall cures ingrown toenails.
Right.
No, it fucking doesn't. It's just a coincidence that you banged your head into the wall and your foot stopped hurting for a moment.
And just look at this guy. He has evil villain written all over it. He has like BBEG vibes.
I mean, not really.
He had. Okay. Well, sorry, George. It's obviously you got. Okay. Look, the placebo effect is a thing because they. Well, sorry, George, we are here. Placebo effect is a thing because with any given test group, there is about 30% are given sugar tablets, which is a pain in the ass if you've got rheumatoid arthritis because you're off your other medication and you're taking sugar, which means you're suffering. But they can't let on because the doctor knows about the placebo group and he's not allowed to disclose. So it's definitely something they have to do. It has a bad effect. That's why they don't do it to the whole world. But
well, if it's a double blind, the doctor doesn't know
sugar.
who's in the placebo group.
Yeah.
There are blind ones too. You're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course there are both. Yep, of course. Yep. So sorry.
And also, PJC, let's see. PJC said, not really. If you believe you're going to get better, it can actually help you to get better. Sometimes a healthy mind can assist a healthy body. That is true, partially true. That is partially true. Good vibes can help you speed along the healing process because I can't think of the actual.
Well, actually,
it's
maybe
psychology.
go the opposite.
It's psychology.
Go the opposite effect. Being miserable does inhibit the healing process.
Yeah.
So maybe not so much being healthy is healthy. Being miserable, this is going to get me down and all that shit. You will push yourself into depression, which is then going to deplete your immune
I actually read an article about that, and I actually read an article about that, and what the expert also actually did warn for is that do not rely on it.
Yeah, don't rely on it.
Because that might actually be detrimental to your mental health.
Yeah.
In the case that your positive vibes that you had did not have the desired effect, and you still sick and you're still not cured, and that might trigger extra depression, which indeed is worse than being not always super happy and cheerful.
Yeah, and the hormones that your brain produces when you're happy can help with a lot of things. Dopamine can help.
Yeah.
Crap, I can't think of the other hormones, but
serotonin.
They can help with pain relief and things like that. So if you're happy, yes, your brain will produce more of those to help with the pain or help with things like that. But they're not going to fucking cure a virus or
hell no.
That's why that's why you feel fatigued when you're depressed, because literally like you're not making the muscles that make you feel rested, and chipper, and that leads to wanting to lay around because your body hurts because you're so sad. It's shitty.
And just look at that guy. Isn't he just the model of health?
He's and you said he's BBEG. He's not Voldemort. He's Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah, he's definitely Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is the evil lieutenant of the BBEG.
All right, let's finish this video. There's only fucking 15 seconds left.
And for those
Kimra Wormtongue.
And for those who doesn't know what BBEG mean, it's a D&D term meaning big bad evil guy. Basically, tunnel villain, you know.
He is Gimbra Wormtongue. He ends up stabbing his master in the back and then dying himself.
He's Gollum.
Okay,
He's
okay.
Gollum.
15 seconds left on the video. Let's play it.
I'm not going to stop it. This is not a been there, done that therapy. It's the people who are called to it are with it the rest of their life.
An ancient Eastern culture tradition.
This is my manual for teaching people.
In Boulder, Colorado. Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
You know, I can also tell you a therapy that once you're in it and for the rest of your life. Cyanide therapy.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, you try it once, you're in it for the rest of your life. Maybe very short, but you will never have not
And
done
I actually
cyanide
have
therapy again.
a Facebook screenshot for something related to that here in a few minutes.
Well, let's watch this.
But let's watch JP first because this is fucking incredible.
Yeah, let's watch this video. This will be the last video for tonight, and then we'll go to the Facebook group thing.
Yeah.
I've really been into urine therapy lately. There's so many benefits to urine therapy. It's an ancient health practice where you drink your own urine to get healthier. It's basically like stem cell therapy, just with no stem cells and a lot more urine.
I mean, didn't we just establish that there might be like 4 or 5 stem cells per 100
they said like
milliliters?
5 to 10 unique stem cells per milliliter of urine. But you kind of missed the whole joke there. He said it's just like stem cell therapy, except with less stem cells and more urine.
Yeah.
Did he say stem cells? I thought he said no stem cells, but I just thought it was.
He said no stem cells.
It's This is a parody, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
But
parody.
we have established there is at least one stem cell.
Yeah, this is called satire for those that are not aware.
Yeah. Pretty much most of the chat got that this was satire, but Jordan apparently didn't.
No, I got it, but like it's just interesting that he brought up stem cell therapy. He brought up stem
No, it
cells,
is.
and we
It is.
just
I
talked
get it.
about stem cells.
Let's go. He's got the good jokes.
Trying to excrete this health-giving elixir we call urine. Well, not on my watch. With a little help from a glass, I redirect this flawed physiology by putting the yellow elixir right back where it belongs, inside me. I use urine therapy to prevent cancer, viruses, heart disease, allergies, and Canadianism. Because I've never had any of these conditions, I can accurately say that it's
especially Canadian.
Especially Canadianism.
Canadianism, yes.
I do want you guys to pay attention to what happened to the bottle, though, or the jar. He just took it and put it under the table in his lap.
Yeah.
It was empty, and it's not going to be empty here in a moment.
He's pulling a Riley.
Yeah.
On screen.
It's 100% effective. And based on what I've heard myself tell people, it also purifies the blood.
And you can tell that's Mountain Dew. You can literally tell that's Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
From the color of it.
I drink water for like 93 days.
I was having a
because I haven't needed to drink water
guess.
for 93 days. Because I've been hitting the urine therapy pretty hard. Did you know urine's 95% water? Yeah. So it's basically a waste of water to drink water. I assume that before our society had modern practices like good hygiene and public sanitation, that people had much longer lifespans because they had more exposure to their own urine. And I think our current society is being damaged by flushing our body's excrements down toilets. It's disgusting. Yet do you know why we do this? Because of the toilet industrial complex. Every year, the toilet industry makes billions of dollars by convincing people that they should flush the golden showers that come from their bodies down toilets. It keeps people sick and it keeps the toilet industry in business.
Just remember, everyone.
Conspiracy!
Every ounce of water you drink has been through at least 1 million people's bladders.
Might have been dinosaur pee once.
Yeah, it might have been dinosaur pee once too. And it also has fish pee in it, as well as fish poo in it. Fish have sex in it. Yeah.
Well, you know why I don't drink water? It's because fish fuck in it.
Yeah, fish fuck in it. Yeah.
It's been around since Big Bang plus 12 hours, I guess. All the atoms were formed then. This same water that's in our body was here at the beginning of time.
Yep.
I love that. Doesn't it make you feel insignificant? How cool.
I mean, it makes me feel like I'm one with the universe.
Yeah, the water we drink has been around since the beginning of the Earth, basically.
Since the beginning of the yeah.
Well, yeah, since
the
before
beginning
that.
of everything.
Since about 8 billion years before that.
Yeah, about 8 billion years before even Earth was a thing. So yeah, you're drinking history, folks.
Look, if you had a treasure chest full of golden coins, you wouldn't flush them down the toilet, would you? I think it's more tragic than global warming while being more deceptive than the moon landing hoax. Plus, there's some people who are ignorant enough to think that there's no science behind urine therapy just because there's no scientific evidence to prove its benefits. And I don't get that. Urine therapy is so good at preventing baldness. I'm inside my own urine in my scalp to prevent hair loss. And as you can see, I'm winning. It's also pretty sensual. This hero's journey that people talk about is really about getting to a point in your life where you love yourself enough that you're willing to drink your own urine because it comes from you. So it's an extension of you. So drinking it is an act of self-acceptance. We should accept ourselves. With all the facts I've just laid out, I think it's clear that this on-urethra tap golden elixir is the future of health and wellness. There's just one more thing. We've got a new line of apparel out, including t-shirts and my signature yoga
All
pants.
right, you can stop it there. That's just an ad for his clothes.
That's a good stop. I like that. Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a furry you have when you're not having a furry. I like it.
All
Nice,
right.
of course.
So we're not going to be able to get through all of these. But let's see. Let's go to
dead air. We're going to dead air, people. That's dead air for those who didn't know that. Okay, we're back off the dead air.
Go to the fourth one. The hemorrhoids.
Oh,
God.
God.
Has anyone successfully cured hemorrhoids or anal itching using a sitz bath with urine?
Oh, my
And
God.
David Thornhill says, just loop urine. For those of you that aren't in the know on the terminology of the piss drinkers, looping means literally everything that comes out of you goes right back in your mouth.
Oh, my God.
So every piss that you take, you drink.
Let me apologize for George for inviting you on tonight.
I was gonna say I don't think this is the stream for me because I got a really weak stomach. This is fucking oh my God.
The people that are really into it, when they say they loop, that means that they only drink their own piss. That's all they'll drink.
That's gotta kill you at some point, doesn't it? Like diminishing returns.
Yeah, it can. But David says, just loop urine, bathe with urine, drink distilled water, stop taking showers. This cures everything. Yes, not taking showers will cure everything, especially hemorrhoids.
You will never have to deal with anyone ever again. I can promise you that.
And then Kimberly says, David, how does taking shower affect the treatment? Remember, we're talking about hemorrhoids here. And David says, it depends what's in the water. If it's anything other than distilled water, it's poison. Urine is also medicine.
Oh, God. How are these people still alive?
Well, we'll see here in a minute that they're not.
Oh God!
So let's go to the very next one.
Already there.
Mr. Doodoo Timby.
Yep, Doodoo Timby. Shouldn't he be pee-pee instead of doodoo?
Yeah,
I guess.
Every time when I drink my urine, I have the pain on my heart. Anyone who experienced this? Linda, first 2 weeks drinking my urine therapy, I was experiencing the same and body pains. Space comma. no space. It's been 6 weeks now on my urine therapy, no space. No more pains. Please remember that urine is very powerful. Lots of people hear about this incredible hearing modality and they just start drinking it. When I started doing it myself, on the other hand, I detoxed myself for 2 months before I even took one drop. By changing my diet and started drinking massive amounts of pure water. After that, I took one drop. It was another month before I started looping everything. And again, looping is,
Yeah.
drinking every drop of pee that comes out of you. It made the
As
transition
opposed
much
to
easier.
laughing.
I felt no pain and didn't go to the bathroom 10 times a day because I detoxed first.
Can I just jump in there, Quiddies, just to interrupt you with that wonderful poetry? First one is, looping and LARPing, very two different things. And Global Mum's a beauty in the chat. It's done to the Police song, every move, and it's every piss you take, every poop you make, every time you evacuate, take it all back in. Thank you, Global Mum. You get a clap for that. That's going to be a parody song. Thank you. Sorry, man. Back to Quiddies.
All right, let's go down to the one. Has anybody tried putting urine into a humidifier? Any pros or cons?
Where's that at?
It's down a couple of lines.
Oh, okay.
No, go the other way. Keep going to the right.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's the one, yeah.
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 All right. Has anybody tried putting urine into the humidifier? Any pros or cons? I have. It allows the urine to seep into all parts of your daily life and is well worth the effort. Interesting. I was worried about it being inefficient because it's in the air and not applied directly. But the benefit of misting through the house should be worth it. Oh no. Air is a great medium. Sometimes I like to collect the crystals and burn them as sort of an incense. I'll let you all stop and think about that for a moment. And then, does it help with asthma?
Sleet in the chat. Sleet in the chat came out with a beauty. He said, is looping poop plooping? We like plooping. Thank you, Sleet. You're fucking rocking it out there in the chat, buddy.
I just call it 2 girls, 1 cupping. Does it help with asthma? Yeah, but you have to get the concentrations up. Try to collect at least 1 gallon and aging it in the sun for at least 2 weeks before vaporization. Wow, what a great idea! Aging in the sun. What about a nebulizer? And then it cut off. Let's see.
Yes, PJC net. These people are mad.
Okay, 2.
An ominous silence falls across the chat. Oh my god, that one gobsmacked everybody. Oh shit.
2 after that, the one at the top, it says urine therapy representatives and advocates.
Here we go.
Okay. Hi everyone, Heart. Recently, I got my period twice this month, as my grandma got vasinate and didn't tell me.
Okay, I've got to interject here. What is it with these stupid people and their inability to actually effectually communicate?
They drink piss.
Point taken.
Enough said.
Point taken.
And I do want to point out right here that this girl is blaming the fact that she got 2 periods in 1 month on her grandmother getting vaccinated.
Yeah, like as though her grandmother getting vaccinated can somehow affect her.
In their fucked up minds, it can. I do not want to suffer infertility like others I know. Can I do a vaginal enema where I put urine up there with a syringe? Any tips and knowledge would help a lot. And Nina says, yes, you can absolutely douche with urine. Remember, like I said, any hole in their body, they're gonna fucking put urine in it.
Oh God.
Can you imagine finding out this out after you had you made love with someone who did this?
I would be like, all right, that's it. Squeeze my cum out of you and give it back to me. We're through.
Like my dad, my dear departed dad used to always say, "Never stick your dick in crazy."
I would probably shower for 2 days straight.
Well, that's one of the rules of the bro code. You never let your bro stick his dick in crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, you can absolutely douche with urine. It clears up any kind of infection, giving immediate relief. Many women have reported what you're going through from being around people who got the vaccine. Doctors are calling it shedding. You should also consider drinking plenty of it. And then someone was deleted like, is this fucking real or something? And they said, yep, it's real. All of them. Shedding is micro RNA clusters. They are shedding that contains harmful spike P, which that's not how vaccinations work or anything like that. But, these people aren't very bright.
People, we promise next week will not be we're going to try it. We'll do something lighthearted next week. I promise.
I mean, this started
Boomer,
out
why did you do
fun
this?
Of the stupidity of people.
It wasn't Boomer. I take
this
full
was
blame.
This was Zoomy.
I take full blame for this.
No, he was asking why I DM'd him to come in. That's fine, because I wanted to share the load with you, Arduin.
Yeah.
Share the load. What a terrible pun. Bad choice of words. Thank you, Global Mum. She's giving me half the tips. Global Mum says, thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitresses. We've got you now.
If
that
you
means
do
you're doing
this
the card game in
again,
about 15
if you do this again, you're in trouble. Okay.
Yes, you're in trouble.
That's the name of the stream. Is if you don't.
All right,
Zoomy, you're in trouble.
Next screenshot.
Oh my God.
And we're going to get into the hard science here. This is definitely some cutting edge science. Hello, thank you for all the support on here. One thing I couldn't find in my research for urine therapy is if it passes through the blood-brain barrier. Does anyone know? I am currently just drinking it morning and night. Mickey says, I'm curious as to why you're wanting that info. The blood-brain barrier is a thin layer that helps protect the brain from debris, bacteria, etc. I believe urine therapy makes its way into your body the more you use it. I do sinus rinses, and I feel it can go deep into those areas. I do eye cupping with my urine. Remember, that's the people that dump it in their eyes. All those areas are connected. Your brain, your nose, and your eyes apparently are connected according to piss
some of
drinker
these
science.
people on this forum saying these things have to be people who say, "Oh, let me write this." Like, yes, let me write this. Let me pull all of this shit out of my ass and see how people are gonna respond.
Well, they just make it up as they go along, and they're like, "Yep, that's true because I said it."
I will say this. There are trillions of neurons connecting your eyes directly to your brain, so that part is technically correct.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to dump something in your eye and it's going to go to your brain.
No,
and you're not going to squirt something up your nose and it's going to your brain.
No, hell no.
Well,
nothing to be fair to them.
It can make its way along the brain fluid, along the nerve of your eye. It was a trick used on certain things, so it is connected. And if you do have brain stuff, your windows are directly connected. That's a way into your brain chemistry for the doctor's point of view. But it does actually connect, as does your ears as well, because there's a sinus tube. So all that shit gets, it's interinfected.
Yeah,
when
but
you have
again, we're
nose,
talking about the blood-brain barrier here, and putting urine in places where there's not blood in your body is not going to get it into your blood.
Yeah.
Good point.
So let's see. Those areas are connected. I'm not 100% on the blood-brain barrier, but I would assume after time, your urine becomes part of you.
Oh, God.
I will be following this
Oh,
conversation.
my
Best
God.
wishes. My doctor likes to suggest supplements that pass through the blood-brain barrier for her brain headache health. I'm mostly during urine therapy for that, so I'm just curious. I've heard people
headache
say
health.
that
Brain
I've heard
headache
people
health.
say that's why you need to do nose flushing for brain healing.
Brain healing. Oh, God.
Yes, squirt piss up your nose to heal your brain.
Oh, God.
Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna do that one.
Oh, hell no.
Let's go down to butt tumor 1. Okay. Yeah, you had it. Go back 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Carrie shared her first post. I just found out that I have a tumor on my small intestine. I think that this is because I have eaten and drank foods other than urine throughout my life. I've only started urine therapy within the last 5 years, and I believe that the tumor is from lack of a lifetime of using urine therapy. Now, I do have to say that I saw a comment for this that really hit the nail on the head. This guy said, hello, everyone. I just recently started bleeding from my ears. A few years ago, I started the ice pick in your ears therapy. And I believe that this bleeding from my ears is from not doing ice pick in the ear therapy all my life.
Oh, God.
So Carrie goes on to say, does anyone have any good ideas on how I should use urine therapy or aged urine to help get rid of my problem? Again, tumors in her ass. I fully believe urine therapy and that it can help me a lot. Thank you all. And Jim gives us a great reply here in a moment, says, tumors of the small intestine are extremely rare. Are you sure it's a tumor? And I would think that urine therapy would take care of it. Now let's go to the very next one. That would be butt tumor 2. Jim says, consider this. Cancer is usually preceded by an unpredicted or unresolved emotional shock. Number 1, so resolving emotional and spiritual issues like forgiveness is very important, as well as what needs to be done emotionally. So 17 ways to beat cancer on a shoestring budget. Follow the Budwig diet protocol. And if anyone knows what that is, I meant to look it up before this and forgot. But I'm sure it's really fucking stupid, whatever it is. Number 2, eat lots of raw minced garlic and hot peppers, cayenne or habanero. Number 3, eat mostly raw, mostly vegetable diet, including lots of cruciferous veggies. Number 4, consume much of your vegetables in juiced form. Number 5, avoid these foods: sugar, artificial sweeteners, white bread or bleached flour, fast foods, junk foods, microwave foods, processed meat products, and processed foods in general. And just so everyone knows, microwave foods does jack shit. People used to say that microwaves somehow zap the nutrition out of food, but no, that's not how it works.
No. What are cruciferous vegetables for those of us who don't know?
Broccoli, cauliflower, stuff like that, like budding vegetables, I believe.
Cabbage, would that go in there as well? So cabbage, collie, broccoli, and those sort of little tree-looking things.
No, cabbage.
Okay?
Cabbage isn't a but. No, cabbage is not a budding.
Oh,
it's not a.
Yeah.
Cabbage wouldn't go with that. Cabbage is, however, good with antioxidants. Cabbage has high antioxidants.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Opposite.
I mean, yeah, eating a lot of vegetables is good for you, and not eating a lot of sugar or artificial sweeteners, bleached flour,
And
fast food, junk food, stuff like that. Yeah,
I just looked
that's
up.
a good idea, but it's not going to beat cancer.
No.
By doing it.
It will help. It will certainly help. But it's not going to beat it by itself. No.
What I read here is already like I read here something interesting at the beginning. It was a cheap man's guide to curing cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There lies the problem.
Yeah.
People can't afford a cancer treatment.
Yeah.
They'll know that like this is mainly in America, right? People can't afford the cancer treatment, and what they're desperate because they don't want to either bankrupt themselves while trying to cure themselves, or if it fails.
That was the exact storyline behind Breaking Bad.
Having his family with deaths, and so what are you gonna do? You're desperate. What are you gonna do? You look for stuff that's
crystal meth.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, guys, if I may, in Australia now, that's an unfortunate thing of America, and that's why people say greatest country. No, we have in Australia a thing called the Radio Oncology Fund because cancer treatment costs chemotherapy is about 40 grand up front. No one is liquid for 40 grand. Not even millionaires have got 40 grand lying around generally. So what the doctors have provided is a fund that pays it up front. You then claim it on Medicare, which pays the doctors back. It's called the Radio Oncology Fund, and I believe Canadians have it too, but they have more problems than other things. So, but we actually pay for it because for doctors, if you keep your customers alive, you make more money. Once they're dead, you can't get any more money out of them. So it works both ways.
We just don't pay any of that. We just pay. We could just get everything. You know what? The rest of what we need to pay through the insurance, and it's not like 40,000 euros. It's like a couple of €100.
Well, so there's also the psychological aspect of it because if you're diagnosed with cancer, you're going to try everything you possibly can to beat
especially if you can't afford the cost,
And they'll be like, okay, well, I could take colloidal silver and that'll cure it. But then they'll also, follow what their doctor tells them as well. They're just trying everything they can.
Yeah.
But as we'll see here in just a moment, there are people who don't do that and they just follow this bullshit. So if you want to read the rest of this, I'm not going to go through every one. If you want to read the rest of it, it's been on stream for a while. You can pause it and keep going.
Yeah, good idea.
But since we're running on short on time, let us go down a ways to... Okay, since I talked about this earlier, I won. EYE won.
That's almost a sentence. Okay, well, I'll take this opportunity to shill the card game in around about 16 hours' time on Something for Nothing. So if you want to play some Texas Hold'em and talk shit with us, Arden and I will be doing that. And Wednesday, 8 p.m. UTC, we're doing, is it Guess the Product game again, Arden, or not? For Valentine's Day? Which is yesterday.
Which was Well, we could.
Tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow. But we could still do some Valentine's products, maybe. Yeah.
Sweet.
Actually, I'll just answer Sleet a question because Sleet appears to be an Aussie. Hey, Aussie, didn't we give those pommies a fucking hiding in the cricket? No, believe it or not, I lived with someone who was in the radio oncology department and it wasn't covered immediately by Medicare. For some reason, they had to come up with the money and there's a doctor's fund that actually does it. So, yes, it is technically paid for by Medicare, but after the event. So I don't know what it is, but that was just the way it was in Queensland when I was living up in Brisbane. So cheers, Sleet. Thanks for your inquiry there, mate.
All right. So this is one that I brought up earlier. this person asked a question. Applying urine in my eyes for a week now. Noticed a burning sensation. Sometimes leaving my eyes red and some liquid pus discharge. Using fresh urine before, then switched to aged 2 to 3 days. Do I switch back to fresh urine or a mix of fresh and aged? How to best proceed? Thank you and more power to this group, heart. And then to the next. It shows that you have a problem inside internal part of the eyes, so drink fresh urine into both nostrils and pour fresh urine into the eyes 3 to 4 times a day and clean eyes with water at time of morning. And then the admin of the group says, swimming goggles are good. Put urine in them and blink around. The aged is very powerful. As long as you are happy with it, keep using it. The eyes do detox out some gunk at times. So this fucking pus infection in your eyes, it's just your eyes detoxing. And then the next one, this one I just had to fucking roll on the floor laughing over. This person posts in a group called Cow Urine Therapy. Cardiologist suggested my father aortic heart valve replacement surgery as soon as possible because he has severe calcification in valve. Need guidance of cow urine therapy treatment for the aortic valve severe calcification. Please provide contact number. Also want consultation. And so I titled this screenshot, "He gonna die." He needs a heart valve replacement, so you're gonna make him drink cow piss. He's going to die.
Yeah, he gonna die.
And this is where we do get a little bit into the darker side of this bullshit. Oh wait, before that, let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Because I talked about this one as well. This is the one that PJCnet brought up. Please give me some info. Who has injected their urine? I did my first urine injection yesterday. I used 4-month aged urine and used 3 milliliter insulin syringe to my softer part of thigh. I don't know what was wrong, I could tell you, but after 2 hours, that place turned hard, painful, and a bit red. I couldn't turn my side all night. Injected part was very painful, and now it is still red and hard and pain. What I did wrong, what I need to do. I feel like my urine still stay there and not absorbed to my blood circulation. I make a soft massage, but nothing change. I'm waiting detox reaction, but nothing happened yet past 16 hours. Is it normal? Maureen says, the problem may have been the type of syringe used. I believe these injections should be intramuscular, which requires a longer needle. Hope this helps. And Beat says, reactions seem to be very individual. For the first injection, 3 milliliters seems like a lot. I think anything above 0 seems like a lot, but would start out with 0.5 milliliter fresh and then work up. 4-month aged is heavy stuff for first injection, too. Seemed just a bit too much, you know. Type of syringe and method you used are not the problem here. So they can't even agree in back-to-back comments. One says wrong needle. One says, nope, the needle's fine. You just used too much.
And that was my needlephobia.
Yeah,
That's it. No, I didn't. I'm back.
All right.
Sorry about that,
Yeah,
guys. My
he's back.
internet, it just completely pooted out on me for like 20 minutes. I don't know what that was.
All right. Well,
You know nothing of my powers.
Well, let's go ahead and
Is it bad that I don't? Is it bad that I don't put it past Boomer to use his powers to get me off of this stream?
Boomer doesn't have
George
powers.
here, get him out of here.
That would be very
Stream.
spiteful of me. I wouldn't do such a thing.
I know.
All right.
what the hell?
We just like to
scroll up
pretend
to
you're an asshole,
Cancer
Boomer.
1. Go up to Cancer 1, and we'll do this story. This is where it gets into fuck you territory.
Aren't we running on time?
Yeah, well, this is the last one. I said we would end with this one and then go into the FTFE thing.
Yeah.
So, this person posts August 2017. Does anyone have experience suggestions with cancer ulceration? I have what they call late stage breast cancer, and the tumor looks gross to say the least. Other than that, I look absolutely healthy considering I'm on mostly juice, distilled water, baking soda, parasite tinctures, vitamin C, raw fruit and veggies, and doing a liver gallbladder cleanse tonight. I was doing urine therapy and was feeling good, but I stopped when a natural doctor said it was not the thing to do with cancer. And to date, I have heard nobody's personal experience about using it for cancer. In my shower every day, I pour fresh pee on the ulcer, but it doesn't seem to have any effect. I also do fresh and semi-aged and aged pee enemas, which feel good. However, I am seeing no stopping growth or dissolve of the tumor. I started seeing an oncologist just for support. Go to the next one.
Next slide.
But it doesn't seem to have any effect. I also do fresh and semi-aged and aged pea enemas, which feel good. However, I am seeing no stopping growth or dissolve of the tumor. I started seeing an oncologist just for support. They think, as to their education, of course, to chop off the breast is the way to go, as it looks like it's contained in the breast, according to ultrasound. However, I have a big swollen lymph not far from the tumor, so of course they want to take out the string of lymph. I know our lymph is our sewer system, so would never go for that. Also, I know cancer is systemic. I don't want to lose my breast. I'm in a quandary, and I'm depressed quite severely at times, with feeling utterly alone in the world and not knowing what to do, taking charge of my own healing. What do you experienced people around the world suggest, please? So this person has breast cancer, and right now a mastectomy, a full mastectomy, and removing some lymph nodes would probably cure it.
Yeah.
So go to the next one. November of 2017. Well, I'm gearing up to start my second urine fast tomorrow. I have enough aged pee to do anything I want. 5-gallon apple juice jars.
Oh, God.
Last fast over Canadian Thanksgiving went great. Only ingesting distilled water to start, plus pee, and day 3 on only looping. Did 2 hours of rubbing in tub each day and eyes, ears, nose washing. All went well until day 6. I woke up feeling like puking, and my morning pee was dark, stank wickedly, and there was no way I could drink it. Was sick all day and shaking and miserable. I had to do life events including traveling. So I quit fast with watermelon and then fruit. But I felt sad I was at a crossroads of detoxing, I'm assuming, and quit. But it was so vile, all I could do was puke. So I wanted to be more prepared for this fast, and I can do one longer now. And I'm in immense. Go to the next one. I'm in immense.
Oh God, hey dude, hey man, is this going to take much longer? Because I actually need to have a piss. All he's talking about, Pete.
Yeah, I was
two more screenshots.
Dude, my ears are bleeding. I'm fucking dying here.
Two more screenshots.
Yeah.
I'm in intense pain as of the past 3 days with my ulcerative breast tumor. I've spent the past months under Monica's instruction to do urine compresses and have done them religiously. However, change is occurring with pain. So bad I even got pain meds yesterday. I was so desperate. They did nothing thus far, and so I'm 3 nights no sleep. I put my aged pee foam on the tumor, and it helped for half hour, but pain returning bad now. From everything I've read of sharing on 2 urine sites thus far, the answer for cancer and other serious diseases is fasting. resetting the body, purifying. I would appreciate any information from experienced people that may benefit.
Anyway, she's dead, right?
People that may benefit my knowledge and fasting experience thus far. I need intelligence here as my situation is looking dire. I now have 8 small tumors that are developing their own blood supply now, and a big hole in my breast. Sorry for the reality, but I'm living with it, and I'm still dedicated to survive. However, I need to stop the meds. I need to stop
she's
the
gonna
meds.
die,
The
right?
serious side effect is a major depression and suicide. At times, I already struggle with reasons to live. If you saw me, I look so healthy, although I'm considered palliative by allopathy. Strange, eh? All they want to do is provide drugs to make me comfortable till I die. Thanks, tribe, in advance, and you'll be hearing more over the days.
No, you won't.
And
No, you
finally,
won't. No, you won't.
June of 2018. Can anyone tell me what the effects may be if I fill a bucket with 9-month-old urine and soak my feet? And how often? How long? Might it help me sleep? I've been 10 nights with no sleep now, and I'm going nuts. I went off all opioids as it's been 3.5 months of sheer hell trying to get used to them. Quality of life? Nope. So I'm in withdrawal from them, even though I self-monitored the smallest doses. What could the detox be of soaking in straight aged because I'm too weak for anything? I'm very weak and probably dying as cancer has grown in my lungs now, and my breathing is very belabored. Could be extra fluid too, though. I don't know. I'm unable to drink any pee at all. Thanks, wise friends. And that was the last anyone heard from her because she fucking died because she decided to drink urine instead of listen to her doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, can we lock
That's
it up
a story
and
of
funny
someone
now?
literally wasting the fuck away while thinking that drinking piss and squirting it in their nose and eyes and up their ass and shit is going to cure their fucking cancer. And that is why shit like this pisses me off.
And that is a good segue for this.
So tell us,
This one
FTFE,
transcends-
why do you do it?
This
Well,
one,
a guy
this one
all
doesn't
the way in
transcend
Canada
Earth. This transcends all
takes
things.
about whatever. What do you care if I'm an Avs fan or a Toronto fan or whatever? Why would you care? Why would you not care about that?
One sec, I just need to address something in chat. Mods, Bite My Haggis is on Vicky treatment. Until he sends me an email for debate, he stays on perpetual timeout. Bite My Haggis, my email address is fighttheflatearth@gmail.com. If you insist on meeting in person, first speak to me on my channel, and then I will go and speak to you in person. Fighttheflatearth@gmail.com. Feel free to email me there. Sorry, Kevin. Right, to answer your question, why do I care? Do you want me to really answer the question why I care about the Flat Earth?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Flat Earth kills people. Flat Earth ruins lives. Flat Earth brainwashes people. And that isn't hyperbole, right? That isn't. Because Flat Earth literally killed Mad Mike, who, thanks to the Flat Earth, tried to build a rocket to go up and see the dome and ended up killing himself. Flat Earth...
I'm not sure this guy was even dead.
The autopsy would disagree with you, but not only that, but Flat Earth ruins lives. Flat Earth ruins lives. Someone that I worked with quite a lot, Team Skeptic, the first Flat Earth debate that he had on the Non Sequitur show was with a guy who called himself Flatman, who was so into Flat Earth that he had lost his entire family, lost his house, ruined his entire life, and had to do that debate from the inside of a storage unit. Why do I hate Flat Earth? Because Flat Earthers stand outside schools and scream at children that the Earth isn't moving at 1,000 miles an hour. The Earth is flat, you're being lied to. Why do I care about Flat Earth? Because people like... Wait, I haven't finished. Why do I care about Flat Earth? Because people like Sleeping Warrior pretend to be children on TikTok to try and brainwash people, the other children, into believing the Earth is flat. Why do I care about Flat Earth? Because to think the Earth is flat, you have to think that every single person in the world is lying to you. And that, on a child, is an extremely dangerous mindset. Why do I care about the Flat Earth? Because Flat Earth will literally hold society back with its anti-science nonsense and literally rejecting all of science and advancement. Why do I care about flat Earth? Because it is a scourge of humanity. But most importantly, why do I care about flat Earth? Because I get the chance to parade fucking morons like you to the world for everybody to see. And I don't need to fight the flat Earth because you being so stupid, you do it for me. There you go.
Craig.
And then
Very well
everybody
said.
stood up and clapped.
Yep. And you know,
Fucking
yeah,
beautiful, wasn't it, guys?
We take the piss out of this, pun intended. We take the piss out of these stupid conspiracy theories, but like Craig just said, and like the screenshots I just showed, there are real world consequences where people believe in this shit and then die because of it.
And then they go and make up conspiracy theories about people that have died of it, saying, oh, they didn't actually die, or, oh,
Yeah.
do you have proof that he was actually a flat earther and not a psyop? Or do you have proof that, you know, he's actually not, you know, being held by the CIA in some secret bunker where they living in
The basement of a
pantry?
Walmart. That was a big thing back in, what was it, like 2016, 2017?
Or in the basement of a pizza restaurant that doesn't actually have a basement.
Yeah. Yeah, it costs people their lives, it costs people their sanity, it costs people their livelihoods, and it just ruins lives to
Yeah.
believe this stupid shit that any amount, even the slightest amount of critical thinking, you would see that it's utter bullshit.
Yeah.
But these people
May
are
I-
incapable of any critical thought.
Okay, now here's one though. When you go down the rabbit hole, Mad Mike got financed. He probably wasn't really a flat earther, a bit of a Poe. Financed his rocket, which in itself is an amazing feat of one man in a garage with a lot of shit to get off the ground. That was fucking awesome. He killed himself
Yeah.
doing it. Now I just got to point out, in 1983, a guy called Ken Carter wanted to jump a car, a stunt car like Evel Knievel sort of thing, from the US into Canada, across Lake Michigan or one of those lakes. Everybody told him not to do it, but he had taken so much money from the sponsors that he had to do it. It was even ABC Wild World of Sports had fronted him $100,000, which back then was like 3 or 4 houses. He had to go through with it. He had to actually, it was suicide by ignorance. Same with Mad Mike. And that guy yesterday, he was just irrational, wasn't he? Uncle Kevin from French Canadian Uncle Kevin, wasn't he one of Craig's biggest fuckwits, I think, so far? Have you seen a
Derpy
worse
G.
person than Uncle Kevin?
That's what I call him.
Okay.
Derpy G.
Instead of Ali
Derpy
G.
G. Oh.
Derpy G.
Wasn't he? He was really bad. That ignorance is almost paralyzing. And imagine how his family feel. He'd be a fucking embarrassment. Anyway, that's my
Imagine
rant.
how
Okay,
his
I'm done.
neighbor feels.
Does he
doesn't
even
have one,
have a
he's an
neighbor? Does that neighbor even exist? I doubt that neighbor even exists. I think he just made him up. He's just a figment of his fucking imagination.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, his neighbour is like, you know, the Facebook mums, they all know a nurse. Now, we all know that nurse. When they hear, oh, I've got a retired nurse friend who said carries about as much credit as a bloke in the pub told me. It's the mum's equivalent. I know a nurse. They all fucking know a nurse. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or they all know the same nurse. I don't know. It's bullshit.
All the
Anyway,
same
I think they all
person.
know the same nurse.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
same nurse that spreads misinformation on the internet.
Yeah.
That's why we do it. We combat misinformation with humor, with comedy. We are literally a point and laugh channel. We point and laugh. Because that's the only thing we can do to avoid becoming fucking insane from all the fucking insanity happening around us.
And the fact that, to be honest, you know, if it did happen to someone that I knew and cared about, I probably would try to combat it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But to be honest, someone fucking wasting away from breast cancer because they're too goddamn stupid to listen to their doctor, so they bathe and drink piss for 2 years and then die, that just means there's one less fucking piss drinker out there in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna literally kill yourself over your fucking stupid beliefs,
I'm
Darwin
looking
Award.
at you, Flat Earth Fucker.
No, I'm sorry. These people, this is just an example that we ignore the warning signs for mental diseases, and we don't take enough care of the people that are clearly mentally ill, and then also on top of that get cancer. I'm a bit more. I'm a bit more. This actually hurts me when I read it. I don't think like, oh, one more piss drinker out of the world. I think like, God fucking damn it, what fucking happened to this person?
I feel bad for their
But
family.
maybe I'm a softie.
I feel bad for
yeah,
their
and I
family,
understand. I have a very thick skin about things like that. And it may be an unpopular opinion for me to say something like that. I don't care. It is my opinion. But crap, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, I'm talking and watching curling right now at the same time, and something just happened.
We can understand how curling's prioritised over a live stream. I mean, we all have to watch curling, don't we?
Well, I'll say this.
I mean, Norway is kicking Sweden's ass right now.
I will say this. I feel bad for their families. I do not feel bad for them.
Yeah.
It was their stupidity that got them in there in the first place. If they had just listened to their family and friends, this wouldn't happen. They did it to them.
I absolutely do feel bad for them. I absolutely do feel bad for them, but more in a way of that, they're the ones who've fallen for it. They're not the ones that are selling it too hard. They're not the ones that make money out of selling this shit. They're the ones that are the victims.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The people that are selling it, they're the ones that are the real true scumbags.
Yeah,
but maybe this breast cancer story, maybe someone goes on whatever piss drinker group that was, and they see this person's post, and they see them waste away when their doctor tells them, hey, we can perform a mastectomy and you'll be fine, and instead they waste away and die because they wanted to drink piss instead of have their breast removed. Maybe they see that and they're like, you know what, maybe I should listen to my doctor instead.
Yeah, maybe it serves as a warning sign to all the people who would have fallen for it, but then they saw, oh, this woman died because she didn't follow her doctor's advice, and instead listened to people on the internet telling her to drink her own piss and to bathe in it, and to inject it into her skin, and to shove it in her nose, into her ears, into her vagina, into her butt, into every single orifice you can possibly shove it into.
And her eyes.
And her eyes. That's why I just went ahead and said every orifice.
So, Boomer, that card game tomorrow.
Yeah, it's getting a little heavy in here. Let's lighten it back up.
Let's lighten it back up.
Yeah, let's get back into some...
Sorry,
I found, you know the movie. All right, well, don't over again. I actually found a great movie called The Lost World, but not the 1960s version where they were up on a plateau with dinosaurs. I found the 1925 version in epic glory.
I found that too, but
dinosaurs.
It was like...
Oh, it's not Creative Commons, but it's 1925. I reckon we can wrangle it. Let's look into it. We'll see if we can find a version. The Lost World in 25. They digitally remastered it, guys. It's remastered or reworked or something. All they fucking did was put a green gel over the lens or a blue gel or whatever. They charged for remastering. I was fucking up big time. And you doing a game stream this Friday nightish, Zoomy, or you gonna do that every fortnight? Your game stream?
Yeah, I'll be doing a game stream this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So anyone who wants to come by and play some Cards Against Humanity or Jackpots games, you're fully free to come into the Discord and go to the Gaming Voice channel, where we'll be holding that.
Okay, and I've got one too that I'm going to add. It's the 13th here, so in 2 days' time for you guys, it's Valentine's Day. And a little poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you're not having dinner, you are number 2.
I have a poem too.
So-
Roses are red, violets are blue. I have a gun. Get in the van.
So
I have a poem too. Roses are gray, violets are gray. I'm colorblind. Fuck you.
Hey, now I'm actually colorblind, so that's.
So before I go in to declare my hatred to Zoomy and Boomer, who is gonna be there tomorrow on the card game? Any of you? Any takers?
Possibly
early
me.
takers?
Possibly. It depends on how my schedule.
Well, we haven't heard from Flint since he was sent up to do a traffic report because he sounded like
he's
he was in
dead.
a helicopter when
He's
tuned
dead.
in.
It's fine.
So we sent him up to do a traffic report in Switzerland, which is basically one big mountain range, blizzard conditions, middle of winter, and we haven't heard from him yet. So we feel he may have died and we could be eating the body sometime in the near future. So Flint, if you're out there, just don't worry. We've already fucking split up your stuff and claimed the insurance. So don't show up. Stay.
He's already declared that. It's fine.
There was suspiciously no traffic report about that crashed helicopter, traffic reporting helicopter in Switzerland. So
correct. So yeah. So we don't know about Flip, but we got me and Ards and a couple of you guys, and we'll probably shame Jordan into it. He'll turn up with 15 minutes to go, like he did last week.
Oh yeah, for sure. See, the thing is, I'll be playing D&D again tomorrow, so depending on how long we run.
Yeah, we'll be playing D&D tomorrow.
You can just die early. Just go in suicidally, die, and come and join us for a
whatever happened to Globers and Goblins?
For sure.
Do you guys still do that?
We're gonna be going back. Batch said something, no time set in stone, but he's really wanting to get behind the DM screen again, and I'm super excited for it. So
cool.
Keep an eye out for that, anybody who's watching.
Yeah.
Well,
World of the Color might be coming back.
Just
soon.
had to drop that plug there.
World of the Color may be returning soon, so keep an eye out.
And throw the dwarf.
Throw the dwarf. Hashtag
Throw the dwarf.
Throw the dwarf. Throw the dwarf.
It's been too long, man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what did we learn tonight?
Don't drink your piss.
That I absolutely despise both you and Boomer for doing this to me.
What you?
Yes.
It's taken you this long. It's taken you this long to despise us, dude. We've been slacking. I thought we had achieved that goal ages ago. So that's
I was gonna say, I despised Boomer. I despised Boomer the moment I heard his voice. So, I mean, I think that's some sort of speed run, isn't it, Boomer?
It is a speed run, and it was an achievement unlocked. Yes, I got an unlocked achievement on that. So thank you, Jordan.
That is just because I'm an asshole with a lot of self-control. So I managed to control myself pretty good.
He's an asshole, yeah. He's an asshole, etc. Oh, I won't put that
Sometimes I park in handicapped spaces while handicapped
has been fun,
people
apart
make
from this drinking,
handicapped
it's been a
faces.
real fun
I'm an
story, guys.
asshole.
So yeah,
Don't fuck with the handicapped people.
I guess we'll call it a night then. So
Yeah, it's been a long one
A
tonight,
night.
but
It's a night.
it was a good
Oh, look.
show.
What?
We went from laughing at piss drinkers to being pissed at piss drinkers to trying to laugh again.
Yeah. So good night, people.
Oh, look, a night.
Exit stage right.
Oh, look, a knife.
Oh my god, that's terrible. Can you turn that down a smidge? It's kind of
Outro music. So.